No, I understand. It was wise of you to bring them here, Count. They'll receive the best treatment in all of Ustalar. Early signs of bleaching. Is the response to stimulus. An Iron Fang veteran? I think I recognize this one. Her eyes betray much. Now, for their admission records, may I have their names?
The first episode of this adventure began with a lot of confusion and chaos. But here we are, still alive, still with our wits and what's left of our minds and what little we've been able to discover about ourselves. Welcome back, everyone, to the second episode of Strange Aeons. Our party here are certainly not heroic adventurers and are not legends or heroes. They are currently victims of fate. Know very little about their current situation, but I have good news for them. Thanks to an anonymous supporter here, everybody who does not currently have a hero point gets one. Everybody.
Oh,
No.
man.
That's not technically a hero point, sir.
I mean, I'll take 5 to 1. Like,
It was Maverick X29. He forgot to put his name in the thing. He didn't mean to be.
Oh.
Thank you, Maverick.
Thank you, Maverick.
Maverick.
everyone in the chat is like, it was me. It was me.
I'm Spartacus.
I can just give myself hero points as long as I'm anonymous.
Shut up. But all we know so far is that we have awoken in some kind of horrible situation. And as we begin today's session, we still find ourselves not far from where it began, in a basement somewhere. The structure, the stone of the room around us is sagging, creaking, and damaged. Rubble and brick strewn across the floor, from holes and rolls in the ceiling, where it threatens to possibly give way at any moment. Massive weight of an unknown structure above us hopefully stands in better condition than the rooms we found ourselves in here. But trapped in this basement with little but a massive mound of discarded bodies and an utterly ruined staircase choked with debris. There's no way to know without climbing our way upwards. The 5 of you are almost alone down here now. There is one more soul left behind you, freed from his binds to a table, but in dire health. You had attempted to treat him to bring him back. He is not dead, but it appears that at the moment there may be little you can do for him by yourselves. So, Trey, as he has decided to go by here, is leading the way up this garbage, laundry,
Body chute.
some kind of disposal chute to whatever awaits above. There is no light or hope coming down this metal shaft, but certainly whatever is up there, at least, isn't the grime you awoke to down here. So let's start then with Trey. Briefly introduce yourself to the audience. Who are you?
Don't know. Big surprise. None of us have a clue who we are.
What do you know?
I know that I'm tall. I know that I'm strong. I know I just dropped a card. I know that I'm tall. I know that I'm strong. I know I can see in the dark. I know that hitting whatever that thing was relatively easy for me. And I know that if I don't work together with these people, that even if I might not know who they are, I won't survive.
When we look at you, what do we see?
You see, like I said, tall, well built, but not built like the orc. More built like, not necessarily lanky. I don't know the appropriate word to describe it. Like a middleweight professional boxer.
That's a great way to describe
That's actually very detailed.
You'd be good.
Strong and tough, lean, not an ounce of fat on him.
And a real wide head.
Wide head, very
Real
pointed jaw. Like somebody took his features and chiseled them out of like a stone and then said, this is a person now.
Let's take a bless from Vatalander in the chat. Bless the familiar with mittens. The GM. Whose owner, by the way, should introduce herself.
Oh, yes. So, I imagine to see anything at all, the camera would have to pan down significantly, especially coming from Trey down to where Cammy is, a very slight, petite gnome, who, with her hair in these kind of like tousled braids, a kind of disheveled look, with a tiny little blue chameleon sitting on her shoulder, kind of a little bit out of place in the sort of spirit of the environment around her. And
Looks too happy to be here.
yeah, eyes full of, but obviously there is horror. There is horror, but even coming from like just even 15 minutes earlier, waking up and not remembering a single clue of who she was, to then immediately discovering that she has all these cards worth of power. She's just
Look at all this magic.
there's all this excitement that she can't even, while maybe inappropriate for the current circumstance, she just can't even contain to be like, oh my gosh, I can, look at all this stuff I can do now.
Cammy is just happy to be here.
Yes.
And standing next to this refuse pile of forsaken dead bodies dumped unceremoniously into this pit, she is quivering with enthusiasm. How about you, my friend?
Easy. So initially, scared little human. Like everything's dark. Not sure where I am. Don't feel...
the fate of the human character in Pathfinder. How's it feel to be the only idiot without dark vision?
It's scary. I can't see the scary stuff, but I know they're there. But yeah, so generally very spooked, like shutting the cell door after opening it. But after finding the violin, is kind of just a lot more calm. It's just been kind of just plucking the strings and like saying little rhymes to himself and just a lot more not scared. Like I can't see over there, but I can see what's here, and I'm just focused on.
You have your violin in one hand, a little lantern that Trey had handed you in the other, so that you can see anything at all. Let's go across to the other side. Then we'll just loop around you, my friend.
All right, so you see a creature. It's like 5'4", like curly brown hair, very, very bright yellow eyes. I have no idea what race I am. I really don't. I actually don't know enough about Pathfinder that other people might be like, oh, yellow eyes. I know exactly what she is.
On all
I
of
have no idea, and I'm not interested in like.
No, yeah, on
looking it
all
up,
of your
so.
assets on the stream, we have now updated the nameplates and everything to have the names that you've all decided on for yourselves,
Right.
as well as the art that you chose during our last session. But even on the little info cards next to the map, when we scroll over to the combat scene, you will see that all of your ancestries are actually still redacted.
Right.
Because I think it is very possible. We've got a very obvious one. I mean, a gnome is kind of hard to hide. You're almost certainly a
I'm going to say 4 of these are like just right out the gate obvious.
Well,
This is the only one that you might have to guess at.
you know how many things look like a human?
A lot of things.
Based on what you have told me so far, that's a human.
I don't think anything about him has been revealed that would imply, like, for sure that he is in fact.
You haven't said the two things that I'm listening for. So
We've definitely got two bigger question marks than the rest. But there are a couple fairly safe assumptions. But no, that is very much.
So I genuinely have no idea, and maybe listeners and all the rest are doing the research. I'm not. It's just like I have a feet and ancestry under here tape. Eventually, I'll be like, look under your seat. But like, yeah. So use those spoiler tags if you're in Discord. But yeah, so bright yellow eyes. I'm kind of observing the scene, having like flipped over one body in the pile, and then like taking the seat back while when watching these two just like dig through the pile, like kind of taking it in and like trying to get a read on where everything is at, because you know my initial efforts to be a team player backfired on me when I was shut into a cage that I unlocked for someone.
I want to say you're second.
So that's kind of where I'm just sort of observing the scene and just seeing like how it all plays out, but not in a malicious way, just kind of like all right, who are these people? And I don't know, and they don't know, and like we're all just a little bit lost.
Some of you in our first session have had some errant memories surface, little unconnected wisps in the back of your mind about some of these other people. They may have been an image, they may have been a memory of an interaction, they may have just been a fact that you felt you confidently knew. So certainly you would at least once met the rest of these people, though in what capacity still remains to be seen. Before we introduce our last character here, Ghost of Azan, token human, shun the normie, Bane. For easy. Switch that bless out for a Bane, my friend. And finally we come to Colby.
Feels bad. You're looking at a 6'8", which is very close to my real height. It feels good to play a tall character.
Oh my gosh, wait, how tall are you?
6.
Oh my gosh.
So 6'8", just a mountain of an orc. He's muscle bound. He's this big. It's not so much toned down muscle like a bodybuilder. It's just muscle built over just existing. Across his body, now that you've all had a moment to look at him in light, he has scars crisscrossing and patterns across his arms. They're not random scars from battle, but it looks like they've been purposely placed, almost like tattoos, etched into his skin. Some forming imagery, some just being random lines. But what they mean, we don't know. He also has another big old scar right here at the start of his brow, all the way to the back of his head. He keeps his hair shaved back to keep that scar revealed as if it was at some point a point of pride for him. Other than that, he just looks like a big green muscle-bound man. He is wearing a chain shirt now. He is wearing clothes. That's a good point.
You were the first to immediately discard your smock as fast as possible. First member to have left Team Smock Team.
Team Smock Team. I'm a rebel.
As I mentioned briefly in the first episode, I'll say again while we're in the early chapters of this, normally we've got these full character costumes and everything, but the party doesn't even know who they are. The artwork that we have are these temporary sketches that we have as a baseline. These costumes are really just the smocks, and you now, MD, have started to put something together that will develop over the next couple episodes as we find our feet and discover what we want to be. And no bully the human, #token. Bless. Say it, fuck. Nope. Bane, I will not be denied. Just gonna leave that one right there.
Did you say that was Ghost of Azan?
Ghost of Azan, Bane to back, Sandfox 10 for the bless on.
Oh my god.
You tried, I'm sorry. But, Trey, you climb your way up this shaft. It's not particularly long. You're not climbing up the disposal chute of a high-rise hotel or anything. This is clearly connecting very simply from the bottom floor for this basement that you're in to what looks almost certainly like it would simply have been the top of the staircase that had once collapsed. It's a little bit of a claustrophobic fit for you as you work your way up. You are a relatively large individual, but it's not nearly as bad as it may be for your friend MD here. As you arrive at the top, pushing aside what appears to be a damaged iron lid, you reveal a room in stark black and white to your dark vision. You do not see color when you're using it in dark vision, but otherwise you can see as sharply as anybody else. Honestly, I'm very happy that Paizo has done away with just slapping weird arbitrary ranges on things and you just like have dark vision now. It doesn't just like stop after some distance. That's way easier for me personally to mentally visualize. And you see a room, I imagine much as you would expect at the top of the chute. The mouth of this thing, as well as this damaged iron lid that looks like it has been near beaten off of its hinges by having objects too large forcibly pushed against it as these bodies, after bodies were dropped down, leads to the walls and floor around it being smeared with gobs of blood and gore. The rest of the room looks like it has largely been cleaned out. There are several racks to your left set into the walls that looked like they were large enough to have once held various amounts of folded or prepared laundry, as well as several shelves along the opposite wall. The chamber you find yourself in is not particularly large, maybe 10 feet across and 18 or so deep, with only a single thick and heavy wooden door that you can see leading somewhere else. The room bears no other windows or ports of visibility. You still truly have no idea where you are. You can tell that not only is there no apparent immediate threat, there is little area in this room for anything even to be hiding.
Pretty much fully barren.
It's very barren.
And is there a door?
Yes, there's the one
Okay.
door that will be to your right as you come up. Next to that door, you can see what is certainly the ruined top of the staircase from down below. The floor heavily damaged and looking to be unsteady, perhaps hazardous, but there was enough of the white stark tiling next to it that seems like it's still fully intact. You can actually see next to where this big muddied heap of bloodstains is, below this chute, a wiped track of blood wide leading towards that door.
Taking a quick peek, like climbing out just far enough to look above the door. Is there any way to latch it?
The door does have a like a thick, simple rod on the inside that would allow you to slide it over and latch the door shut from your side.
No, the chute door.
The chute does not, no.
Okay. I'm just gonna slide back down then and inform everybody of what I found and tell the sensitive nosed gnome probably a good idea to do what I did with my smock and wrap it around my head like a
Bandana.
yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah, because it stinks in here, dude.
A lot of blood. Wouldn't be good for you.
So I guess we're going up then.
No other way.
No other way. Well,
This is a door.
I think we found everything we can get out of this pile of unfortunates.
I'll go back up first, just in case.
I'll come up last. Probably get stuck halfway through. Also, easy. Here, I want you to take this just in case. I'm going to hand him the sap that I picked up. We have the card over here. I'll pass it around. I don't really know how magic works. I know you can sling things with your mind, but I don't trust something I can't see. I feel safer with you having that in your hand.
All right, appreciate it. I don't want to get that close to things though, but we'll see.
Well, they might get that. They may get that close to you. You might not have a choice.
Okay. And I'll just find a strap from like, I don't know, a bag or something and use it to strap my violin to my back. My way up.
Okay. You would have plenty of simple things around for you to use to be able to attach that. That's not like that's not going to be a big concern. So with that, the group of you, I suppose one after the other, are making your way up this strange chute. In the room at the top, as you arrive one by one, it's simple enough, and again, the metal damaged and rough, that it isn't going to require an athletics check to climb or anything, especially with all five of you from the top and the bottom being able to assist each other as you go. Simply a matter of a few quick minutes before you've all arrived, now making this room almost a little claustrophobic. It's much, much smaller than the chamber you'd come up from, and even just the 5 of you standing in it fills much of the space.
Well then, onwards, I guess.
Guess I'll go on ahead and open the door then.
The heavy wooden door gives way to the outside, immediately revealing a strange moonlit courtyard.
Oh, that's so cool.
I love Arkenforge.
Oh my gosh, that was so cool.
This is one of our partners that we've had for quite some time. Arkenforge is map-making software and virtual tabletop both. It is purpose-built to use to play for exactly the kind of hybrid setup that we have, where we have a monitor on the table in lieu of a traditional paper map, so we get all the cool details. And these kinds of immediate dynamic lighting changes with doors physically swinging open and revealing a room before you. I love this thing. It's one of the codes we have down below. Using that's the easiest way you can help directly support the show.
What you're doing right now makes it look like we're trying to air the dead bodies.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you know, like it's like, oh, it's like let's get some of that like fresh air pulled into here. Yeah.
Desperately trying to make it a little bit better for Cammy here, mostly, I assume.
Yes, please.
Probably a rough time with her nose at the moment. It's very stinky. Easy pleasy. Vixel, throwing you a bless. Everyone should be equal.
Moonlit. Oh,
You just gotta bless. You just gotta bless.
But you can see what looks like it was once, possibly even must have been very recently, a well-maintained courtyard. There are flower beds along the bases of the wall that runs down in front of you, exactly in line with the edge of the room where the top of the chute you just emerged from was, all of them trampled, muddied, and ruined, but still retaining their color and much of their form. So even the common man would know this must have been fairly recent for them to not have rotted away and decomposed into compost. There are several large shrubs or trees just kind of planted throughout an area that looks like a sizable open yard. Several footpaths wind around through it, in stark contrast with the bleak gray walls that climb towards the sky on all sides. As you peer out into this, it does appear to be fully enclosed, though it looks like it wraps around the outside of this chamber to your left, and there is another heavy wooden door immediately to your right, leading into what looks to be another section of the massive complex you found yourselves in. Now, I did say moonlight streaming down from above, but what looks at first like pale moonlight seems to be almost more ambient. It casts no shadows through the trees, nor do any lean down from the walls towering up another story or two above you. It seems to be almost a passive glow around the area of a pale, sickly yellow. Looking up to the sky shows you nothing but what looks like a thick and heavy fog hanging over the area, not even clouds above. Nothing visible, no source of the light. Just an infinite morass, this pale, pallid color. It is raining lightly as you open the door. The sound gentle, the dirt floor, and against the side of the stone walls.
Is it just me, or have any of you seen this fog before? Like, in a dream?
I don't know if it was greenish yellow, but or was
It leaves me feeling not great. Not great.
I'm more concerned with the light. It's not coming from anywhere. It's just existing. Cool. I'm just gonna take a step into the courtyard. This is why I hope you guys do not mind getting wet.
Stepping out, the rain is light and gentle. It is no heavy downpour. though of course with your shaved head and having forgone your smock of safety, you can feel it more clearly than anybody else is going to. But again, it is almost just like a gentle moisture on your face, on your arms, on your skin. It's not soaking through even your chain shirt and your simple clothing. It's not yet.
Kind of relaxing, actually. All right, then. What do you think?
Does it smell funny?
Does it smell funny?
Smelling the area outside, you more keenly than any other know that familiar scent of rain. You know that smell immediately before and after showers. Strangely absent in this courtyard here. In fact, it barely smells like anything. You can sense an almost sickening sweetness from the dying flower beds around you. Their various odors all mixing together and pungent enough that even from the far end of the courtyard, they still reach your nose. Again, strongly at odds with the blood smeared across the floor of the room you are leaving and mixing with the mud and the dirt before you to be barely visible.
I smell the flowers dying. I smell the mud, but I don't smell rain though.
Oh.
At that point, all of you would hear a massive crash of thunder rip through the area, sounding as if it had come not from the sky, but almost just from the air immediately next to you. A sound like an enormous boulder slamming to the ground. A sound so loud, I actually need everybody to make a fortitude save for me.
Oh.
And several of you do not know your fortitude modifier quite yet. I believe Kevin,
You're about to learn.
you do not know your fortitude modifier.
You're not, but a 19's pretty good.
You are trained in fortitude saves, so between your constitution modifier and your proficiency, you would have a +4. Sully, you are trained as well,
Oh.
so your proficiency would add into your constitution stat for a +4. You are familiar with yours, Trey. You know you have a +8. MD. I'm usually so proud with everyone's names, but I'm learning them at the same time.
Yeah, yeah.
MD, you are trained as well. You have a little more constitution. Your total is going to add up to a +5. And Shelly, equally trained, is going to be a +4 alongside Easy and Cammy. So
lightning's less than a mile away from us. We know that.
Some say it's like a few feet.
Keys, what is your total?
26.
26. That will critically succeed. This is very loud and startling, but beyond that doesn't phase you. MD?
Or math is hard. 12.
12. That is going to fail. Trey.
21.
21 is going to succeed. Cammy?
I would like to thank you, Maverick, for your point. I rolled a 1.
Help?
So,
Help? Me? Help?
so that's
That's not a 1.
2.
Not
So
a 1!
6.
Not a critical
Not
failure!
a 1.
You went from a critical failure to a regular failure.
23, 19 plus
23
4.
is gonna succeed. Are you blessed right now?
I am blessed.
That would make you critically succeed, but I'll let you keep the blessed because it's not gonna make a difference. There's not a difference in success or critical success.
Wait, let me make sure I'm doing this right. I'm doing do I do the con on the left or the con on the right? Because there's 2 different cons. The left? The fortitude is 4.
The fortitude.
Yeah, the fortitude total should be
then-
4, and that's what you're adding to the d20. And then that minus
Oh, okay, never mind.
your con modifier is your proficiency, which would be 3 if you wish to put that
Got
in
it.
there.
Oh, I see. Okay. I know.
You're
I
trained-
definitely don't have that. Then I don't have that. That number seems way too high. Then that is
Oh yeah, I guess I told you how to plus 4
14.
and you gave me a 26.
Yeah,
14 makes way
14,
more
yeah,
sense.
okay.
No.
okay. Yeah.
14 will succeed. Yes.
Okay, all
Yeah,
right.
those numbers I
Got
give
it.
you are like the final total you're adding
Yeah, I
to
gotcha.
the d20. Those of you who failed, which I believe was
Okay, success but
MD
not critical.
and Cammy, this is an overwhelmingly loud noise. And as it passes in that instant, you don't hear the following rumble as it winds down. You hear a tinny ringing in your ears. The two of you are completely deafened by this blast.
Damn loud.
What? What did you say?
Oh no.
Oh, I'm actually out the door. I'm not looking behind me. I'm just focusing on the sky, so I'm just gonna like start walking down this. I don't hear them talking behind me.
If you walk out into the courtyard, you can see that other than the door immediately adjacent to you, it looks like there are, or perhaps a better phrase is were, two other directions for you to go. And you're directly across this courtyard, some 4 or 5 dozen feet away. The opposite corner seems to have collapsed down. The walls of whatever this main building are, and even its roof, have come down into a huge heaping pile of rubble and stone. Then around this corner to your left, as you emerge, you see the courtyard wind around this footpath, continue up to the north, leading to another wall of detritus and destruction. The whole edge of this courtyard seeming to have been swallowed up in an avalanche of gray stone. The building does not seem to be faring much better than the basement you have come from, and in fact seems to have suffered much, much worse. You can see all around you damage to the roof and the walls of what looks like it was once at least a second story to near the whole of the building has been almost completely annihilated by some cataclysmic event.
Cool.
Does that look like it just happened?
The rubble looks fresh, it looks loose. It hasn't had time to settle and compact itself. You can see that stones anywhere from the size of the smallest pebble to be as big around as your torso just lay in a scattered jumble at both ends of this courtyard here.
I see a spot in the courtyard that looks like they were, before everything abandoned the courtyard, they're getting ready to transplant some plants in. There's a shovel over there. I'm gonna go over there, I'm gonna grab it and just break off the head. I have a little walking stick now.
The shovel gives way easily to your giant orcish frame, so there you go. And a nice little handle.
A stick.
The rest of you do. As MD just sort of takes off, looking around the corner wildly.
Seeing the rubble, I'm probably going to take a quick look at the door behind us. If whatever the hell's going on out here did that, we shouldn't stay. Let's get back inside, not the basement.
From the corner, you can see that wherever this may once have extended, with these two rock falls, the courtyard is entirely enclosed now in all directions.
We've got one door right there beside
You have a
us.
door, and you have two piles of rubble that you could conceivably go up or through, but not much else.
I'm going with the option that's not outside.
Not outside does seem like a benefit at this point. Rest of you, MB's heading around, seemingly oblivious to all of you. Trey turns towards this door.
I'm walking towards that pile of rubble.
Wait. I'll go with you. Buddy system, we need.
He seems to totally ignore as you call after him. Easy as oblivious.
MD, we got initials. We gotta stick together.
I like how that's our bond with initial bros.
MD and Easy, we're like this. Like this.
I'll go with him. I'll go investigate the rebel. I'd like to go over there and kind of. Is the rock still? Is there any still like trickling at all?
Occasionally, especially in the wake of this massive thunderclap, a wave of sound so heavy you could almost feel it. Another pair of small bits of scree and pebbles dance down the front of this collapsed facade, but its stability is in question. Now, this is the ruin of at least 2 stories of a building. Though it may be possible for the group of you to clear through, it would take time and a lot of it.
Did that feel like an earthquake or like a rock slide? Like, are we like in a mountainous region? Can we see anything outside?
Very little. Though, easy.
Huh?
And are you just thinking this, or?
Because I mean, like, that wasn't lightning. It was way too fast. So I'm thinking either rock slide or earthquake.
You aren't really. Like, you really don't know. There's nothing you can see outside of this courtyard, which looks like it was clearly manicured and it was taken care of. This is a garden of some kind. You wouldn't be able to tell if the local flora here is natural. Mm-hmm. Though you can tell that for it to have survived at all, this can't be that arid of a region. You probably aren't at the top of a forsaken peak or in the middle of a desert. Mm-hmm. The temperature is warm, but not uncomfortably so. It seems to be relatively temperate.
Is the rain warm?
The rain is equally a little bit warm
humid?
as it comes down. Maybe it's hard to tell with the fog.
Okay.
Between the fog and the rain.
So looking up, how tall is the building next to us? Did you say 2 stories or taller than 2 stories?
It looks like it at least went to 2 stories at one point, but it is so damaged that no part of it goes beyond that now, and no part of the top of what you can see is undamaged. At this point, Cammy and MD, your hearing would start to come back in. Ears would start to come back to you. And Cammy, you look like you need a new hero point here. Nate
Oh
Smack,
my
1995. That's
Who?
that for
Sorry?
you. Nate Smack,
Nate
1995.
Smack. Thank you.
And are you still baned over there, Easy?
I have.
No,
blessed.
he's not.
Got
He's
blessed.
blessed.
Got blessed.
Oh, you got baned again, and then you got blessed again.
Oh my
we're not
God.
at the right place. It just keeps going back.
Was it on again?
Light switch.
It is actually like a light switch. It was Azan again.
Oh
yes,
my
you
gosh,
definitely do
dude.
it. The Bardic one's got you up now, so we'll see if Azan has any more jail points.
He will not be denied.
Are you opening the door, Trey? Because you have gone over there to look at it now.
walking away.
Just
I'm
walk away
gonna-
minus.
I'm gonna follow MD into the courtyard, see him grab the shovel, but I'm looking at like these two having just been like, oh, that's so loud, and going like, all right, this is probably not a one-off. So I'm gonna sort of like grab you by the arm and be like, we're going. We're not leaving the rest of this group.
I'm not entering the room. I'm staying at the door.
You're trying to get everyone's attention, and 2 deaf
Yeah.
people were walking.
So
away.
I'm trying to like now I'm gonna start like trying to just pull him and like.
And as
come on.
your hearing comes back, you A, have keys pulling on you, and B, both of you can hear Trey calling you back towards this doorway here, from clearly around the corner, not having followed you.
You can speak softly. You don't have to yell at me. Turn around and walk back.
yelling at you.
I'll take just from the outskirts of the thing. I'm not like digging in there. I mean like loose ones, standalone, like 5 little pebbles. Before I turn tail to head over to where Trey is, and I'm gonna hand them to Easy and be like, do that thing that you did again.
Wait.
The thing that you did.
Like move stuff?
The what? That thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, to what?
But here you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Monkey dance, monkey dance, monkey dance.
Wait, what am I hitting with this?
I don't know.
Oh, you just want to see it? Okay. And I'm like, all right, I've been working on a rhyme. A rock, if you pull it, it works like a bullet, and then I'm gonna.
Nice. And then I'm just gonna walk over to Trey.
Just put my hand on his shoulder. That was impressive. Just,
Yeah. No, that's cool. That's really cool. Yeah.
So cool that you're baned.
Oh my god.
Just kidding, you're blessed.
Keep it back. Oh my gosh.
well, I was about to climb that rubble pile, but
Eternal.
I guess Trey wants to go through the door.
Baned.
No.
Going up and getting an eye to see what we can see from up top would be smart, but
But if you want to be out here the next time whatever did that happens again, sure. I'd rather go inside and
I don't-
not.
really know what happened. There was a loud bang and then everyone was quiet for like 10 seconds. It was pretty nice, actually. No screaming, no yelling, no
This is
rain
blessed.
sounds.
This is banned. I'm just gonna throw you these.
Oh my gosh.
It's a war in the chat.
It is a war in the chat. I'm just gonna throw you the thumbs up and the thumbs down for the time being.
All right, then. Onwards and throughwards, I guess.
open the door now that I have an entourage.
And I'm gonna be right next to him.
I feel like just putting it in front of you so you don't have to keep going around the microphone.
Just hold it. Just hold it right here. Oh, that was 2.
Oh my gosh, dude.
You open the doorway
Hands.
that leads into what looks like a long hall. The door opens outward into this courtyard, and this passage before you extends in both directions. Immediately, you can see a pair of doors on the opposite side of this hall in front of you. And turning to look in through this darkened hallway, in the black and white distance, you can see numerous more punctuating either side. Broken lanterns, wooden splinters, battered doors line what looks like it was once a very clean and almost sterile white stone hallway that extends to this building. And as you poke your head in, to your left, to the south, maybe a dozen feet away, you can see a heap, a mound near 4 feet high of broken furniture, metal pieces, and large chunks of stone that look like they have been heaped together, dividing this hallway into 2 sections. The area beyond, you see color fill your vision as several lanterns hanging off either side of the hallway illuminate the passage.
You said the doors look battered?
Much of this hallway does still look damaged. That includes several of the doors, but quite a few of them look to have been ripped or smashed from their hinges entirely.
Like, can you tell
laying
which
strewn across the
direction?
hallway.
Like,
that would be to your right, to
like,
the north.
but the damage looks like it came from us toward that way, or from that way toward us.
Looks like it could very possibly be a mixture. There are
Okay.
a great number of doors down the hallway, and they look like they have been blown asunder in all directions.
All right.
Does that look like something barricade? Does it look like something barricade? Like, is this like a barricade of furniture and whatever, or like
You
a
kind of
collapse?
sticking your head in, it looks intentional.
Okay.
It's not all just rubble and damaged stone. Several large pieces of furniture, what looks like a large overstuffed plush couch, a table, an entire cabinet, have been piled together to form the base of
So
this.
they're keeping something out.
Very clearly done intentionally. And as you look in a little harder that direction, you can see a figure leaning against the wall on the other side of it, looking down. Again, this pile of refuse is near 4 feet tall. It includes most of this shape, going about up to their chest, so you can't see much of them save their shoulders and their head. Though what you can see still looks very at odds with what you've seen so far. Very straight, kind of dirty blonde hair fountaining down from the top of their head. That, while it doesn't look extremely clean, does not look like, well, the 2 people that you've seen in here so far. This figure looks like they are, or at least still provide the opportunity to care for themselves somewhat. Their face is clean, very bright against the light of the lantern in front of their face, like almost glowing white skin and pointed ears on the other side.
Does it look barricaded from their position or barricaded like
Kind of
from our
chokes the
position?
entirety of the hallway, so it sort of works both ways.
Okay,
It
but I
would,
can't tell like the intention was like that side keeping this side out or this side. I don't know.
It looks from here, it is difficult to tell. Again, it's more of just like a massive heap. Again, it would clearly be equally prohibitive both directions, but seeing as there are people on that side of it and someone just right in front of it, the figure looks like it's not so big they couldn't climb over it if they wanted to. So if they're on that side of the barrier, I guess you could probably assume the barrier is meant to be against the way that you are.
Oh, gonna waste no time. I'm gonna. Hey,
You're stepping into the hallway.
I'm stepping into the hall.
I'd probably follow in.
As you start to make your entrance into this passageway here,
Hand up.
the figure turns, and even from this distance, some 15, 20 feet back. You can see a pair of very striking green eyes set into a very, very pretty, a soft-featured woman's face. And she turns and does almost a double take, seeing the group of you coming in from the outside, and starts to panic. Danman, there's more! And you see her fumbling and shaking, pull up a crossbow and point it across the barrier at the group of you.
More what?
You see another figure, just barely, just the head, about as much as, and just barely that. And the way you see it come up looks like he had to climb up on top of something to even get up there. A very different face with a mustache that goes out thick on the front and thick on the sides, almost like a band around a planet of dark hair on the sides of his head, coming down to an almost squared, angular beard. A stout, clearly dwarven featured face. As his head comes up, and then another crossbow.
We come in peace.
Peace! I ain't having none of that no more. You stay right where you are, or go back where you came from.
We don't even know where we are.
And he just looks at the group of you. The woman is like looking back and forth between them. She's not key. She isn't even. She's got her crossbow pointed. It's shaking towards the group of you, but she isn't keeping her focus your direction. She's going back and forth between you and this dwarf, and you and this dwarf, and you and this dwarf. She is clearly much more panicked than he is, as he's set up his crossbow, the deck, steadied against the top of this cabinet that is the base of this pile of refuse, hands firmly upon it, looking across the group of you in turn.
Do y'all work here? Or, I mean, I don't know.
We ain't gonna tell you nothing. I don't know what information you think you can get and come back and fool us next time, but I'm not dumb enough to give it to you. Now get it.
What do you mean, full?
How do we get out?
Yeah, we want to leave.
We would like to leave, yes.
And the
Where is out?
woman, back where you came.
If it'll make you feel any better, go ahead and pull the trigger. I just make myself as broad as possible.
Okay.
Okay, don't do that. Don't
you
do that.
really don't have to.
I'll get Boston. And Denman's the other one still got the crossbow. You get whoever you want. They ain't getting past me.
Making like intense eye contact with the dwarf, just staring him down the entire time.
Wait a minute.
We just woke up in a basement, fought a weird tongue monster,
Yeah, he thinks
crawled
we're
up
one
through a
of them.
trash chute.
Bring you the body if you want.
I
We
still have the
killed one.
scars from its claws on my chest if you want to see that.
Who are you? How did you get here?
Don't know. Right now we're calling me EMD. That's Trey. That's Cammy. That's
I've like
Easy.
blended into the shadows.
There's another one around here. Her name's
Oh, it's
Eve.
gone. Actually,
None of these names mean nothing to me.
Oh, yeah.
How did you get here?
We don't know.
no.
We climbed up out of the
Well,
basement.
if you walk out this door, take a left, there's a trash chute. We came up to the trash chute.
We were like in a cell. I don't know.
You're not. I don't recognize none of you.
I don't recognize you.
Damn it. Stay over there.
Okay.
Okay.
No. I'm just sitting here. Still with a crossbow. I'm still looking across the group of you. It's kind of. He doesn't just like move his eyes so much as he clearly moves his entire head as he's looking across the group here. Damn it. And the woman who disappeared through a door back further down the hallway comes back out, just pointing frantically with one hand, her crossbow still loaded up in the other, just kind of out in front of her, followed now by another man who walks through with a bit darker skin. He's got dark brown limbed hair. He looks fairly well built. He's not nearly, he doesn't look like a bodybuilder or weightlifter like you two absolute physical specimens here, but he has some light leather armor drawn across his body. Even under it, it's clear. From the way he walks, his posture, even just the shape of his shoulders, that it hides a little bit more strength than what's readily apparent. He steps around the elven woman, one free hand he puts up on the deck of her crossbow, just pulling it down towards the floor as he walks past her. He has a short bow in his hand. You can see the feathered ends of a quiver poking out over his shoulder. He walks up, puts a free hand on the shoulder of the dwarf, just kind of claps him, looks up to the group of you.
It's about where we're at too.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm guessing you're Voston.
I guess we can start with names.
Yeah.
Boston?
He turns back towards the woman. She's, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I keep telling you, we give them anything. They can use it to fool us enough to get in here. They knew nothing when they showed up. Not one name. Can't tell me where they came from. But
Out that door to the left, there's an empty room. There's a chute that goes down. We came from there.
kind of motion with the whole crossbow.
Go
towards
ahead.
MD. Them don't look like we did it to him. Now you got the chain shirt on, but like you did your best with some magical mud. You clearly took a pretty big hit here, and that's still visible, ripped through your clothing under the chain shirt here. Other man. No, that looks. You don't know where you came from? You can't give me something?
They were like torturing us in a cell. I don't know if you're missing someone else, but there's another person alive down there.
Well,
Mostly.
barely alive. That's a little bit generous, actually.
Well, you know their name? You got tortured you for their name, simple enough. Look, you guys. I don't need names. I mean, when you get that close. I don't recognize any of you. I don't know who you are, and some of you look like you'd be pretty recognizable if we met. So, sorry. Stay over there. Not any trouble. Can't risk letting you through.
We don't want to go through. We want to go out. We want to leave. You can have your barrier.
As you talk, the woman looks, you say that, she looks back over her shoulder. And Boston just glares at her, looks back towards you. I don't really know what to say about what you'll find that way, but I wish you the best of luck.
So there's no way out there.
As if you don't know, the front door's that way. Again, can't let you through.
Well, can you at the very least tell us what is happening? You keep saying they gonna trick you. I'm not capable of tricking people.
Look. Like, you don't know. I'm sure you're as full aware of the situation as the rest of us. This. Not gonna give you advice. I'm gonna hand her to your little tricksy nonsense here, face stealers. But you'd better at least trying to pretend to be one.
Oh, that's what we killed in the basement. That makes a lot of sense. She did look like a nurse. And then she turned into the tongue monster and then attacked me.
And she stole one of our faces.
Yeah,
for a
and then
second, actually, so it's
It smashed her skull against my
it
knee.
actually kind of
Just go back to pretending to be one of us, but then they know us. I hate this.
Here, can I prove it? With my hatchet. If I cut my hand and I still bleed, I'm not one of them.
yeah.
If your plan here is to get us to think that you can change your faces in your whole body, change your race, change everything about you, but you can't change the color of your blood, then I'm believing that one.
Well, no, the
I know
one
you turn
downstairs.
back when you die. Seen that happen a couple of times, but
The one downstairs cut itself and it sealed back up.
landed a couple shots in a few of you, and they look like they stuck pretty well. Bleeding as normal as any.
I'm just trying to offer you proof. Something. I don't even know what we're doing.
Boston just looks up. They already know your damn name.
Can we offer you like a favor? Like, I don't know, if we do something, is there anything you're looking for? Since we're gonna like, I guess we can't go that way. Is there anything
What
we
if
can do?
they ain't lying? I don't know. You call it a gut feeling. I ain't been good with taking skin. I ain't been so good with taking emotions, and these ones seem scared.
We're really, actually, yes.
Absolutely petrified.
Look,
Very confused.
It's dark and it's raining.
it's not that I don't want to believe you. It's just that I got a lot of people relying on me not making a wrong call on that one.
Well, here's the deal. We don't necessarily want to go through your barricade. We just want to know what's happening so we don't die. Dying is terrifying. Most people don't come back when they die.
They're face stealers. I already know the situation. It ain't hurt to tell them the basics, does it? Right? So, like you don't know, there's a whole bunch of you face stealer kind back there. Shapeshifters, you can take whatever form you feel like. I've seen you turn into some of us, you've seen you turn into some of those that you took. Just other random patients, I guess, maybe you found somewhere. Maybe they died in the collapse. I don't know. I think the first time you tried to trick us to get past this barricade here.
What's the collapse? Like, was that the loud bang?
He just kind of motions and the whole area. When the floor started shaking, the whole island started quaking, the building started coming down.
Island
You know?
just quaking? Okay.
We're on an island. That's good information.
It was earthquake. I thought it wasn't lightning.
You're in Briarstone Asylum.
On an asylum. Even better.
How in the hell did we get here?
Are you a patient? Like, what do you? No, never mind.
I work here.
Oh, you work?
So does he, and so does she. You
Maybe work.
ain't getting any
here.
more than that out of me.
I don't think you're getting payroll anymore. Just,
No, I don't think so.
I think you know as well as we do that, well, there's not much to be had for getting out of here. Tried that one already. Didn't go great for those who poked their heads out the doors. It's better in here than it is out there.
what is out there? Like, what was that noise?
I don't know. Haven't asked any further questions, and honestly, I want to. I feel like you probably know better than I do. I ain't asking.
It's green out there. Is that?
Look,
So they're in full light on their side, and we're not in the
yes,
light.
there are there are lanterns set into the
Yeah.
sides of the halls that are kind of spaced down.
Right.
Look like they're put there. They're part of the walls. The ones past the barrier are all lit.
Okay.
That hallway is lit up. All of you can see them perfectly fine. You guys just kind of have the lantern light and the yellow glow coming in through the doorway,
Okay.
illuminating you.
Okay.
Look. Ain't my call to trust the groupie or nothing. But if there's that many of them, we seen these little bastards fight. 5 of them could have taken 3 of us, I'm pretty sure. Look, you got an idea how to prove they're not face stealers? I'm all ears. I'm not taking any chances. The woman's, just
I could play a song.
Just like,
I don't think.
show them your lizard.
Ah, yeah. Hey, check this out. And I'm crawling for my hair.
Lizard. Chameleon just kind of gets up on top of your head, stands up on his hind legs.
I'm pretty sure this guy's a secret to getting out of here.
They got a damn lizard. You think any of these face stealers are out there keeping pets? Where'd they even get? Wait a minute. I seen that lizard.
You have?
That came in with one of the That came in one of the patients just the day before the collapse. I remember that. It was weird. They let her keep it. I didn't really, I know you came in, you didn't get assigned to my ward. I saw you passed in the lobby, but I definitely saw that lizard.
It'd be real hard to miss this one.
Do you think that lizard would not be able to tell if that was a face stealer?
We have a very tight bond.
Face stealers, they taming a lizard isn't gonna be. It's a lizard. It doesn't even think, does it? It's just kind of an animal.
What?
Have you seen him use magic? Have you seen the face stealers use magic?
I don't know what the face stealers
Make
are
him do a
capable
flip.
of. Look,
That's fair. Make the lizard.
I'm gonna ask
He's
this-
highly intelligent.
I just want to ask this, like,
He
can
can
you?
do pre-calc, I'm sure.
Literally gonna ask you a math question.
he puts his hands down on top of your head and just puts his little feet up and does a handstand.
Highly
His little
intelligent.
head just goes.
That's what he's saying.
The damn lizard does tricks, Boston.
Ask it a math question. It can probably answer. I mean, I could ask it what's 3 + 1. It says 4. You'll tell me that I trained it. You ask it a math
The lizard
question.
just back foot just.
Yep, check that. Check this.
You ask it a math question.
I'm not. I don't know how to prove this. I know you turn back when you die, but it's not gonna do anybody any good to be asking you to make that sacrifice for your group, is it? Any ideas? Anyone got any thoughts how to move around a face shifter? Didn't you guys say you killed one?
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't offer to bring you the body.
Anything kill one of their own? We've definitely winged a couple of them. Could have gotten away and died. I don't know if there's really a way we're gonna be able to tell that it was them that did it. That could have been their whole plan coming here.
A smashed in skull wouldn't do it. I
Could
smashed
have done
it.
that after they died.
Smashed in
It's
skull.
easier, if anything. Okay, no, we gotta. This is a thought though. This is an idea. I think we're on a good track.
Do you want me to go get the body?
What about the injured man
Yeah.
who's dying?
What if you can't hit more than 2 of them? Well, I don't know. Look, you look capable. Y'all look like you've, well, survived at least something. If you claim to kill one of them, then we can do a favor 2 ways. Kill a couple more.
Where are they at?
Well, I haven't seen any of them come through in a day or two, but you bring us a couple of bodies and, well, maybe I'll ask the leader if it's worth taking our chances.
Sounds good to me. Let's turn around.
Fair
Hey!
enough.
Wait a minute. I don't...
You want dead face stealers or not?
Yeah, but you're holding a goddamn bedpan. And the rest of you ain't look like you got crap. We're sending them off to die, Boston. We've seen what those things can do. And they got more than 2 or 3 of them back there. They ain't
Don't
gonna
trust
live.
us. We already killed one with less.
Wait, look. You just punch crossbow. Give them something at least. Give them a damn chance. You're not serious. You want to arm them?
Just
Well,
gonna
they ain't trying to kill us yet. Hey,
just gonna point at the hatchet.
From what
I
I
got a log splitting hatchet and a pan. We can, give one, you can spare 1 crossbow. Ain't more than what 3 of us if feel comfortable shooting the things anyway, right? Boston. All right. Look. Sign of good faith. One of you slowly come over here. Give you a crossbow. A couple quarrels. Call it offering of good faith.
Most intimidating man there walks forward slowly.
He turned back around.
Just turn back around.
They've got you on a pivot.
You're just, what am I doing here? Okay, crossbow, got it. I walk at a normal speed, as slowly as I can think to walk.
Dwarf pulls the crossbow back, puts the nose of it against the barricade, and one hand really pulls back on a ratchet, takes the bolt out, and lets it loose with a twang as this thing mechanism shoots back into place. You know how to shoot one of these things?
I assume you pull back, you aim, you fire.
Yeah, more or less what we know of it. Here. Take this, and he picks up a little tiny, like 1.5 foot long, what looks like a leather cup. It's clearly not a proper quiver for crossbow bolts, but it's got about 15 bolts in it. Grabs about half of them, pulls them out, puts the cup out with about 6 bolts left in it. I'm giving them face shifters.
I grabbed
Crossbows.
the pendant of Shaylin I pulled out of the correspondent, pass it over. Compensation. Feels right.
The hell is this?
The pendant to Shaylin. I don't know. I thought it was pretty. Let's turn around and walk back.
Hey,
Yes.
what does this mean to you?
I don't
You
know.
specifically.
Well, it was something pretty in the midst of a pile of corpses.
You tug on Boston. Boston's sleeve there, and he bends down, and the dwarf whispered something to him. Hey, if you ain't face shifters, don't get killed.
That's the goal.
Don't hang on.
Okay, sure, yeah.
At least if you're gonna do it, don't do it like right here where we can see it.
Do you the pleasure of doing it out of sight.
And this nervous laughter from the elf woman. Boston just kind of shakes his head, turns, says something, and heads back down the hall.
Oh,
You still got the crossbow pointing down at the group of you as MD comes back with his crossbow.
okay. But before we head out, I just wanted to like maybe prove more of a point where we're people. I'll pull up my violin, and I'll play like a little tune, and I'll be like, all right. An old knight found that there's still come a time when anxiety flared, but learned through the years that to conquer one's fears, one must not be afraid to be scared. And we're scared because we're people. I don't think those things got scared. They were vicious and mindless, and that's not us. And they're gonna feel inspired a little bit from that. It's gonna be inspire courage.
Okay. Huh. Well, if nothing else, it makes me feel a little bit better about giving up my crossbow, I guess.
Is her hand any steadier now?
See, I mean, it does give you, it mechanically gives you a bonus against fear. So, like, she is gonna steady a little bit. You see her.
All right. We mean well. We're just trying to stay alive.
I'm sorry. If you are real, I'm sorry we have to do this.
Just gonna walk off into the dark.
Just don't apologize for
We'll
your
be
actions.
back.
Don't apologize for your actions if you think they're right. I'm gonna walk off.
Ain't nothing happened the last 3 days here is right. I'll get a goddamn crossbow.
I'll return this one to you in fair shape.
And they both walk off, leaving just the elf woman standing there covering the group of you walking out of the crossbow.
Tell her a
Yes.
few jokes.
You kind of separate from the barricade here. Let us take a moment to step out of this and take our break for the afternoon.
Already?
Briarstone. It's been an hour and a half. Wow.
Really?
Briarstone Asylum.
Oof.
Well, we have some early vestiges of a where. A little bit about a collapse situation here. Sounds like there's at least some group of people that could give us a lot more information, but
The chameleon knows all.
She was a patient. We know she was a patient.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, at least
only
one of us is crazy.
3 days ago.
there's only so much that they're willing to share with us for now, in fear of giving us enough information to dupe them into thinking that you do belong. We're going to stand up and take our break. It's going to be about 10 minutes. So feel free to grab some snacks, use the bathroom. Before we do go, I want to give another shout out to one of our sponsors here. This ambiance has been in the background the whole time. These sound effects, the sound set of the rubble, the distant screams I see Chad has picked up on a couple of times, just the unsettling undertone to the whole of this stream. That is all thanks to a platform called Sirenscape that allows you to build a huge spectrum of custom sound sets that really add just so much more to the game than I thought they would. You hear that, it's just sound effects, but when you play with it, trust me, this is the one that has blown me away, my expectations away the most. Don't go too far, everyone. Don't get lost. Be right back in a bit. Welcome back, everybody. The first half of our show, so far we have made our way into what appears to be Briarstone Asylum. How exactly we have found ourselves here? Unclear. Very possibly at least one of us may have been a patient.
I hope I'm not
The
contagious.
dwarf at the barricade. It's an asylum.
Massive
You never
theories
know,
of things.
man.
Laughter is contagious, and
That's
evil
fair.
laughter doubly so.
A fair point and well made. That's the dwarf at the barricade, where you met a couple of survivors, recognized at least the chameleon. It was a pretty memorable thing to walk into an asylum, I guess. But doesn't necessarily, I didn't seem to recognize any of the group of you. He thought that might have been, you might have seen you come in with it, but you definitely saw the lizard come in. I am baned. All for games, bane that thing wearing AJ's skin before it's too late.
That's good.
I'll take this. As we come back in, a group of you have turned away from this barricade, separating the area of the asylum you found yourselves in from what appears to be a group of survivors on the other side, and are making your way back into the darkness. They have made some semblance of a deal with the group of you. They can't trust that you aren't one of these face shifters. But you claim to have killed one, and if you can kill a couple more, they'll take the chance. So, this hallway before you is very, very long. And it extends far, far beyond the view of the lantern and even the last vestiges of light that Cammy would be able to see beyond that. Those of you with dark vision would see this hallway goes, well, it looks like at least 100 feet down. The further down it goes, the more damaged it appears to be. As further away from this barricade, you can see these doors, this wooden refuge, damaged furniture, decimated cabinets, and smashed, what are they called, gurneys? The things used to transport bodies throughout the hallway. And in some cases, what looks like entire walls, bits of the ceiling having come down. At some point, you can clearly tell it looks like it gives way entirely to rubble and refuse and may very well become impassable. But that's a ways down this hallway. Just in front of the barricade, there was a door. They kept you back further than that. You would have to, walk up to them to go in there. But the other direction, past where you had entered, there is another door, also on the western side of the hallway. Further down the hallway, there are more doors, punctuating on either side as they go. You have a litany of options before you.
Might as well start at closest and work our way back.
Tell me, Cammy, you have any way of defending yourself? You haven't picked up any weapons, and all you have on you is a reptile.
Well, now that's okay. All that's true. I can't deny, but I can do magic. Apparently.
Do you know how to use one of these? I'm gonna pass her the crossbow.
I couldn't tell you.
All you do is you put the bolt in here, pull back with all your strength, aim, shoot.
Oh, well, I'm pretty strong, so check out these guns.
Little popsicle
guns.
The strongest,
The muscle goes inward.
the strongest child I've probably ever seen. Patch her the bolt, the 6 bolts.
Okay.
Mancha and Chet has blessed me. I will take that. So there is a little reference weapon card there for the crossbow, which is very nice. It was one of the great many cool little reference things Paizo sent us for streaming Pathfinder. So shout outs to Paizo. They're awesome. They make, the game and the adventure and literally all of the stuff that we're playing. One of the things on there I'm going to want to point out, just so you know in advance, is the reload. Crossbows are a pretty decent amount of effort. You have to crank this winch back, this big lever, to be able to load the boat. You can't do it manually, which means that it does take actions to load bolts into the crossbow. And these are very kind of the early technology, simple crossbows. You can carry them around loaded if they are in your hands, but you couldn't carry them loaded on your back or on your hip or anything. So if you need to pull it out, it would be unloaded.
Gotcha. And loading takes an action?
It should say reload. I believe it's one action on that
it's
card,
a
though.
one.
Then yes, it would take you one action to load a bolt into that crossbow.
Okay.
But if you're going to carry it, you can carry it loaded. Actively, but that's the only way.
Oh, well, I'll do that.
It just
That sounds like a good idea.
makes me feel a lot more at ease knowing that at least everyone is armed in some way.
This man's got a violin.
He's got I gave him a staff. I gave him a staff.
Oh, he's got the staff. Oh,
A
okay.
weapon. I got magic rocks.
Everyone's armed. The camera just pans over to Evie with a violin and a lamp. It's like,
No bow.
Novo.
fair enough. This first door is some 25 feet out from the barricade. You can all very clearly see the light still even spilling out from behind the barricade. This elven woman with the crossbow. Her nerves seem to have calmed somewhat now. This adrenaline coursing through her body starting to pass. It's no longer aimed rigorously at you, just sort of down in her hand, ready, but not as active. And you are opening this door here, Trey, which reveals behind it another room kind of similar to the furnace you had found down below. Your sense of direction from where you've come in puts this room directly above the southern half of the basement you have come up from. And indeed, there is a metal crowd of pipes and machinery as a massive iron boiler fills up the entire western half of this room. How far back this space even goes is unknowable from the doorway, as just much like the furnace, this boiler is the full facade of huge, rough iron plate serving as the far wall, with several massive tanks and convoluted mazes of pipes, machinery, and levers weaving amongst and throughout them. Shadows and rust fill these gaps spread all throughout this, and the light from your lantern illuminates a gap underneath the main boiler structure itself, where it sits maybe a foot off of the ground.
Well, Trey, after you.
Yeah, I'm just going to step into the room and look around. Actively looking, seeing if
So
there's anything
as
around.
we start to explore the area here, let me introduce an interesting and sometimes difficult to grasp, very unique feature of Pathfinder 2nd Edition. That is exploration mode. Saving us the trouble of having to go through areas and then everybody saying, I would like to roll my perception check with my eyes, please. Everybody kind of just picks a thing that they are focusing on doing. And then you will automatically attempt any relevant checks. So coming into a room, if there is something hidden, I literally have all of your stats. I will throw perception for you. Same thing if there are traps. You could be sneaking, and then if something does happen, if combat should start, instead of perception, you could roll stealth for initiative. There are a great number of things you could be doing. And the easiest way I usually introduce exploration mode is to tell everyone, just tell me what you're doing in character, and then I will tell you what the most logical thing I'm aware of the exploration activities would be. So you obviously you're really looking for anything of interest, really. And not even necessarily just these face shifters, but anything. I think you logically sound like you are seeking. You are going to be the one that is attempting these perception checks to find things hidden throughout the area. And these are not unique. You can like double, triple, whatever down on these. So we'll just go down again from here. Cammy, what are you doing as you explore Briarstone Asylum?
I think that Astray kind of marches into the room first as the big tough guy. I would like to crawl through his legs and emerge with my crossbow, like scouting the joint.
She is ready for action. So you're less looking for necessarily anything hidden, but more kind of on alert, like on the defense. I would say what you're doing is more scouting.
Okay.
So you aren't actively going to be rolling perception to find hidden things or treasure or traps or whatever, but should a fight break out, you being on the front and being on the alert, being cognizant of that, are going to give a bonus to everybody's initiative at the start of battles. Easy.
Yeah, I'm just looking at like corners, shadows, anything where a place that steals faces can hide. Just here, that gap underneath the furnace is spooky too.
That's fair enough.
If something can crawl into
So it sounds like you probably also would be seeking, I imagine, along with Trey, really looking into the nooks and crannies for anything suspicious or out of place. Keys. I'm trying really hard. Like I gotta get these names in. I didn't get months to prep.
We need to
this.
get little, we need to get little visual aids. There's like,
No, I have them. It just usually I'm at the it takes me a second, and
Yeah,
then I'm at the ka-chunk mental phase here. It's got to slot in, and then I'm like keys.
I am sort of sticking to the shadows, so I am sneaking.
Yes, sneaking very much indeed something that you can do, allowing you to roll that stealth check instead of perception. We have established you're pretty good at that.
Yeah.
I will say that with the lantern in Easy's hands and the close confines of this area, it's difficult to really get into darkness, but even still, you find yourself able to just cling to the edges of rooms, doorways, even just larger objects, and even just a couple feet from the lantern. It's surprising how well you blend into the area. And MD.
While they're searching through the room for right now, I'm going to be keeping an eye out in the hallway. Make sure nothing comes up from behind us.
Okay. You then, I suppose, would also join team seeking team. 3 of you with your eyes peeled for anything of interest to you. So the 3 of you that are seeking, I believe you all have your perception. Roll me perception checks.
Doesn't matter if my modifier's the lowest in the group when I roll a 20.
Ooh, just roll 20s. All right, so that's obviously a critical success.
9 plus 7 is 16.
16 and
11.
11 total. You're looking back out into the hall, looking around to see if there's anything of danger still. Occasionally, I don't know if you're attempting to avoid eye contact with a nervous elf woman or just staring at her.
Just make eye contact with it every now and then.
Big gruff orc man. Putting her at ease, surely. The 2 of you that are looking, into the room, especially Easy as you're focused but underneath the boiler, you see some movement. Right as the door opens, there is a bit of a scurrying and a scattering as something moves back away from the light.
Bigger than a rat?
Bigger than a rat.
Okay.
And you, Trey, with your critical success, would see it as several somethings. Significantly bigger than a rat.
It's not one of those things, but there's a lot of things under there.
Underwear.
Probably about eye level for you, really. And I'm going to directly point out
Yeah, you
multiple
can.
things under
you
there.
You can point that out if you see it to the rest of the party, and then everyone is also now cognizant there is stuff under there. There is an actual directly. You can do this in combat as well, and it may be important later. You can use an action to call out something you have seen, and everybody else also automatically sees it. So if something is hiding or invisible, and you need to make a perception check to find it, a second action gives that to your whole team. May be relevant later.
It may be relevant right now, too. Who knows?
May be relevant? I mean, later. It's already later.
Yeah, true.
Oh my
Seconds is
gosh.
fast.
What about second relevance?
So,
Hey, can I hold that lantern for a second?
Oh, yeah, sure.
I toss it under there.
Huh?
as you just pitch this little metal lantern that came off of the wall, not really meant to be a handheld lantern. It's fairly round and it just rolls up under the boiler. You hear a kind of startled, distressed little screech come out from underneath, and you see a creature dart out from beneath the boiler. It looks visually in shape almost kind of like a rat, but its fur is tinted with sort of scintillating blue and green hues. Its nose expands into an array of tentacles that wind out around the front of its face. Its face that is more set up, not elongated and back like a rodent's. Its wide black eyes looking back on the boiler and then turn looking towards the group of you as it screeches again, and blue and green energy washes out from its eyeballs, illuminating the whole of this boiler chamber in a dancing light. And almost on command from the second screech, more creatures rush out from underneath the boiler. Need everybody to roll me perception for initiative except for Shelly, who can roll stealth.
I know my dexterity, but what is my stealth modifier?
Oh, you don't have your stealth modifier.
Maybe this
I
wasn't
kind of
a smart
figured that
idea.
came up with you being the weakest.
Can I keep
No,
my
because I tried to do things
perception?
like I locked in a cage.
Yeah. This may surprise you. Are trained in stealth, and your combination is going to add up to a total of +7.
Okay.
Ooh, sneaky.
Trained, by the way, just to make things a little easier for you, will always be +3 at level 1. Trained is your level plus base proficiency. There's no variety there, it's always 3. The variety comes from your core stats. The creatures that come out alongside this thing are rats. But they are much, much bigger than a rat. Almost knee-high rodents. Matted, grangy, looking near rabid, with teeth like daggers as they come shooting out underneath the boiler. A pair of them behind this strange creature.
Knee-high is an unusual size.
Eye to a regular person.
Chest high to that one.
So, we have initiative tokens with your art in them now because it's been selected. So let's start with easy. What is your
14 plus 7, 21.
That's pretty big. Cammy,
18 plus 7, 25.
everyone's ready. We're super ready for this. Trey,
19.
oh, total. I think it's a 19 plus something. I'm like, no way. Okay. MD,
I'm glad they're ready. 8.
8. We've got a big spread.
It's a very lackadaisical
Oh, the
reaction.
level 1 spread of initiative. Keys.
10 on the die for a 17.
17 puts you right here below Trey, so we got some gaps in here.
It comes out. MD's just like, huh, look at that. Huh. Oh, crap.
As the rats are definitely kind of late to rush out here being commanded, they are not quick. They are big enough, they kind of have to squeeze out from underneath this boiler. And I mean, you see them coming. It's not like you can't see them until they're out. They're working their way out from here. They are large, and there is a lantern right there now. While the other thing, whatever it may be, is kind of busy with this screech and this scintillating colors coming out, which means Cammy is going to be the first to act.
How many actions does it take to shoot a crossbow?
Shooting a crossbow is a single action. It is just a weapon, so you are just taking a normal strike action, just pull trigger. Very, very straightforward pull trigger.
Perfect. Guess what I'm gonna do?
So are you firing at one of the pair of rats or at the weird thing commanding them?
I would like to fire at the weird thing commanding them. I think Cam already like locked and loaded, super ready to go. See something actually there's like and like
That's why you get
shoots
to
as
go
fast
first.
as
Literally,
possible.
everyone else is doing all this stuff. You just do this. That's why you get to go first. Very quick. I believe you already know your range attack modifiers, so
Yes.
go ahead and roll
I
me
believe so.
an
I
attack
believe
roll.
it's a
Should be a
minus-
+4, I believe.
All right. 11 plus 4 is 15.
15 as this crossbow is going to fire at this thing. It's gonna hit it, but it's gonna kind of wing it in the leg. 15 is. Are you blessed?
I am blessed.
Okay, 16. Chat fills you. It's gonna little less swing it and hit the leg. Now the crossbow does a flat amount of damage as listed on the card there. You don't add or subtract anything to that, so your negative
That's so
strength
good.
is not detrimental.
That's
Because
really cool.
I mean, the crossbow does what the crossbow does, kind of regardless of how strong you slap the
Awesome
trigger.
for me. All right. Okay. It's 1.
1.
Yeah.
It did in fact wing it. Okay.
The participation trophy.
Yes.
Oh man. So that's only one action.
Yep. Okay. Yep. So I after loosing the arrow from the crossbow, go, and then I run to the back of the group.
Okey-dokey.
I love the
Specifically-
idea that it's an action.
You scamper back out like through the door into the hallway, just behind MD here.
Yes, exactly. Because I would like to be specifically behind MD as I kind of like touch him on the back, like you go,
No.
go, and I would like to use that to cast Stroke the Heart.
Fair enough. You feel stoked, my friend. Easy. As we come around to your turn and these things start to fountain out from underneath this boiler, you can see there are a bunch of them. There's at least 3 of these things coming out. You know that you are not going to be, or at least not confident, fighting them by yourself. Ever since you picked up this violin and started plucking away at it kind of naturally, your mind has sort of weirdly wandered. You've almost found it hard to focus entirely even on the horrible things that are at hand. Maybe this is coping. And again, the lantern gone, your free hand now immediately shoots up to that violin and starts plucking away. You cast Inspire Courage as your first action.
All right. If you need some courage today, listen to what I have to say. We're in this together like birds of a feather. So let us seize the day.
I love it. You have 2 actions left.
And then, so this blue thing, the light that it's letting out, is that like the light we saw outside?
This looks different. The light outside is ambient and kind of aimless. This is blue and green, clearly projecting out from its eyes. It's casting shadows as it comes through you. His eyes are lit up like flashlights. It's not blinding. It doesn't seem to be doing anything to you that you can immediately tell, but it's just emanating this swirling bluish green glow.
Okay. I'm gonna pick up one of my sling bullets, and rocket few bullet turns into a bullet, and I'm gonna shoot it.
All right, give me an attack roll. Spell attack roll.
7 plus, and then it's 4 for spell attack roll, right?
Your spell
7.
Yes.
So 7, 14.
14 shooting this out. As it takes the hit from the crossbow, it's gonna kind of...
Wait, I get +1 for inspire courage.
You inspire yourself. It's 15. Are you blessed or banned right now?
Oh, I'm baned right now.
Oh. Okay. Are you blessed? I think you're blessed. I think
did
I
it
missed
switch?
the bless. Oh, you literally just got blessed.
Yes.
Blessed for the lizard wizard from Durban. Oh, that was the one I'm saying. But you were... Oh, no, you are blessed. You missed one. There's so many coming through. You are blessed.
Okay, so
16 hits it. 2 blesses making hits happen. Woo.
It's our courage money.
1d6.
1d6 plus. Spellcasting modifier is 4.
1d6 plus 4. 10.
10.
Not
Cool, I can just put another one next to this first one. I don't have to cross it out. Solid hit. And after 2 of these, this creature, whatever it is, screeches in pain, but its reaction is not to run, it is to bolt forward. And as it does, it bolts not for the nearest target, which would be Trey here, but sort of jerks around and goes to run past, diving towards you as you play this violin. You haven't got anything. So it's gonna run up right into the middle of everyone here and open its mouth, not with these little rat rodent teeth, but with almost just a human mouth. Normal canines, molars set.
Have you seen
this
the
weird
fish
furry
with that
face?
mouth?
Yes, it's horrifying.
It's horrifying.
This is probably kind of similar to
yeah.
that. Although it's giving out a very pained, enraged squeal as it lunges forward. I'm going to use my Villain point on that. As the rules in.
That was an aggressive villain point.
Very aggressive villain point for I gotta let my D20 know it did bad. And you know your armor class at this point. I think you all should, because
17.
you all played with your armor. It is going to hit you for a 16 to hit.
Okay, so that doesn't hit. Oh, boy. Wait, do you have a bless?
I have a bless.
Aw, man.
Womp womp.
Aw, beans.
Every single hit in this fight has landed because of a bless so far. So chat, you contributing. That's gonna pop, and it's going to bite into you. You are going to take 6 points of piercing damage as it jumps up, bites into your leg, and doesn't so much rip down, but it's almost like a hole punch. The teeth quickly chomp out as it lets go and scampers back away from the party to cower in between these 2 small tanks on the side of the room. You can all immediately see that the wound is bleeding surprisingly severely for its size. You are now taking persistent bleed damage.
Oh, no.
You should have a little deck of condition cards in your desk there if you want to pull one out.
I hit it too hard.
Chat immediately, bless the bard again, and for the GM, we're helping, putting all the blesses back up. Big numbers, fun.
Is it persistent damage, or is there a specific bleed?
It is, it's just persistent damage, right? It can be all kinds of types. It can be bleeding, it can be being set on fire, it can be coated in acid. It comes in a variety of fun flavors.
Mind dirty.
Yours is bleeding. Trey.
You can still see it, even though it's like in between the boilers.
Yes, it looks like it's definitely gonna have some cover with the metal mechanisms there, but it also looks like it's pretty wounded. And Cammy needs a new hero point.
Ooh.
Oh,
Nate smack again.
yeah. Thank you. Now I got 2.
Bathe, dang it.
Don't let that thing bite you if you can avoid it. See what I can do about it. And I'm gonna take my tray because it's thin and we're going between boilers. And I'm just gonna try and walk up and hit it with the flat end, like more thrusting at it, but just hitting it with the tray.
You get a tray slice going in there. Okie dokie, give me an attack roll.
Oh, come on, dude.
Natural
Look at
20.
this guy.
You're on 20.
Yeah, I did.
Dude, what the damn malachite, dude. Okay. Well, you walk in. 20 is going to critically succeed.
I poke
You-
it and it explodes.
Yeah, what happens, Pan Man? You're definitely not alive anymore.
So exactly what I said. I'm coming up to get the tray in there to poke it, and I catch it across the neck against one of the boilers, and you just hear a crack.
You pull the tray back out. This thing immediately, the light from its eyes,
Sound the light switch, guys.
leaving just the lantern illuminating the room. But still, these 2 large shapes coming out from underneath the boiler. You have 1 action left.
I'm just gonna go back to where I was. My job here is done. I will go over there now.
Keys.
All right, so we're just dealing with these 2 large rats. They're rats, right?
Yes,
Okay.
these are like knee-high rats.
Okay,
They're
all right.
big.
Ugh, God.
So there's all these like pipes that are in this room. So I'm just gonna jump up and like grab one of the pipes and like sort of swing across the room and land near them. I'm pretty sure that gets me into panache.
You go to do some cool acrobatic pipe swinging as you go, but as you swing across at a couple of rats, if it does feel cool, but it doesn't really feel, particularly dangerous.
Okay.
It's not going to put you into
Oh,
panache.
okay.
But
All right.
it's just going to be 1 action to get over there.
Okay.
You're trying. You know in your mind this groove you get into, this kind of flow, but that's not really it.
Okay. Gotcha. All right, and then for my next action, I am gonna just like have my sap, and I'm just gonna like swing at the closest one to me. I don't know my.
As you go to swing, we don't have your attack modifier yet.
don't
You
have
got
attack
locked in jail immediately.
Yeah.
Going to swing with yours, you are trained in simple weapons, which
Okay.
a sap is, which means that after your strength mod, it's going to add up to a total of +7 on your attack rolls. Pretty solid. Under the boiler, still, this rat's going to have some cover, but you still feel pretty confident.
Yeah. I'll use a hero point. I'm gonna try it again.
A little less confident, maybe.
Yeah.
You didn't get your Panache. It doesn't feel
There we go. All right. That's an 18.
18, even with the cover, the boiler is pretty easily going to
Yeah.
connect. And then you have the damage list on the card. The sap plus your strength modifier is
Yes.
going to be how much damage you end up dealing.
Okay. So wait, a +7 was the plus the attack roll, right?
That was your
Okay.
ability to hit. And then you have your strength score. I guess we should get difference between score and modifiers.
Yeah.
Which is the 14 on the right. All those numbers on the left, then the +2, +4, +1, those are the numbers that get added to things. So your sap, for instance, is going to do, I think it's probably D6.
Yes.
+2 from your strength modifier.
Okay. So 6 and 2, so 8.
Ooh, a solid hit. And that is, it's a large rat, but it is a rat nonetheless. And this big swing with the sap is going to immediately just knock its head to the side, and its assault is going to stop instantly. It's gonna KO a big rat, leaving you still with 1 action.
Oh. Well, I'm just gonna try to hit the other one then.
No, why would I stop?
You can swing
And
again.
then yeah, like.
Multiple attacks.
Oh, that's right. -5.
Take a penalty.
Yeah.
Is the sap agile? Does it have?
It is.
Then you will take a -4.
Okay.
Instead of the normal -5 you get for attacking multiple times in a turn.
Okay, so 17.
17 will connect as well. You swinging the sap right on through.
Oh
The
my
same
God.
swing.
And a 7 damage.
Well, you now know how much HP a rat has. If an 8 knocks it out and a 7 does not. We have done the science. But coming around to MD here, as your turn begins and you see these rats stuck underneath the boiler that are currently distracted, you dive into battle faster than they do, struggling to get out from underneath there. You have your ability 1.
Surprise attack.
Ooh.
Surprise.
Anybody that you beat in initiative is going to be flat-footed to you if you are sneaking or if they are some manner of surprised fiat-wise, so I can give you this card.
Yeah.
I would say they are surprised enough by this that they want to flat-footed.
Cool. I'm gonna casually stroll forward with my rat smashing stick in hand, which is aka a club. Great for killing rats, by the way.
It's just a sap, but bigger and angrier.
Yeah, and deadlier. We're gonna swing down on this rat.
I wonder if you'll manage to kill it.
Math
You
is
have your
hard.
attack modifier, right? Yeah, you did, because you were fighting.
14 total.
14 with the cover and the flat-footed is exactly we need to hit this rat, which we know by, the transitive property has 1 HP. So what happens to this last rat, MD? What do you do?
It takes 15 points of damage. The club just goes.
Oh my gosh.
As the club, it is literally a thought. Are there any more?
Wasting absolutely 0 time.
I'm just for curiosity. How much did my crit do? That would have been 2. That would have been 6. So 16 for my crit. Sneak attack hits hard.
Now, as you absolutely just splatter the head of this rat underneath the boiler, you don't hear any more scrabbling underneath. Everything falls silent.
Except
You
for
are
me.
out in the hallway here. And you, it would come around to you as you kind of panic out in the hallway. You see this fight end very, very swiftly, but you do see that Easy has been pretty injured and is actually bleeding pretty badly.
Can you make some mud real quick?
Yeah, in my pocket, I got a handful of dirt from outside. So I just pull it in my pocket and I'm like,
I don't mean to bother you while you're like, but I need.
I don't like blood, so here's some magic mud.
Yeah.
You really quickly try to do something to stimmy the bleeding here, so roll me a flat check, Cammy. That's just a D20 and don't add anything to it. Just
No, my
just a
medicine.
D20.
Okay.
You have a hero point?
It's a 3, but not
amputate the leg.
anymore. Thank you, Nate Smack. Now it's a 15.
With a 15, you are quick enough with the assistance of Easy to be able to staunch the bleeding of
Okay.
before he takes any further damage from it, before it gets any worse. And that leaves all of you back again now just in this boiler room. What was once just dusty, rusted, and less perhaps well maintained than much of the little bit of the asylum you've seen so far appeared to be, but had been devoid of the same tragedy and death until now. And it too is strewn about with blood and corpses, both that of these creatures and much of your friend Easy here.
I'm gonna get Easy's lantern back for him.
Yeah, can you get
How kind of you.
can you get the blue rat while you're at it?
Yeah, I'll drag that out too. Just tight squeeze.
It's just kind of stuck amongst the pipes, but with a little effort, you're able to haul it free with this mechanical grasp.
I'm just gonna poke out in the hallway with the lantern and the blue. Like, hey, have you seen these before? they're like, they had a blue light. I don't know. Was that hurting us?
It just looks like a big rat demon.
But it's blue.
Sorry.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't know if you don't know what it does.
No, she can't handle that,
I'm
man.
sorry. It's not.
She's not used to dealing with that.
She's gonna hurl. She's gonna be sick.
For all the stuff you've seemed to have seen, this is too much.
Maybe this is the last.
I work in an asylum, okay? It's not a lot of physical injury. I don't see a lot of blood and guts.
It's a rat.
Oh, it's a rat demon.
It's a rat with glowing
Huge!
It's
Did you see it? Did you see its,
really not up to code, so
Did you see its teeth?
Yeah.
it's not.
What, the rat or the staff?
Well, this staff, the janitorial services are going to be in major trouble.
As you see a pair of little gloved hands of the barricaded head come up again. What the hell is that thing?
It was under the boilers.
It's a rat, not rat.
Well, ain't a face shifter. I don't know what the hell it is, but ain't the weirdest thing we've seen in here since the collapse, I guess. Got anything else in that boiler room there?
It just got rats.
Rats.
There's no skin stealing demons?
Nah.
No, just
Not in there.
pipes and rats
Look, between us,
and blood.
I want to let you guys in, so you find something already. Something I can use to convince soft bed.
2 minutes.
Kind of work.
Yeah, but the further you go from this, we've seen a lot of these in the last couple of days. I don't want you walking into a nest of the damn things. You ain't gonna walk back out, I can tell you that.
Are they like attracted to anything? Like, can we just bring them to us?
I see. Seem to be damn well attracted to getting into our camp. And put a surprising amount of effort into it, honestly.
I mean, we just lie to them and tell them we can let them in. That sounds like a good idea. I'm just gonna walk down the hallway.
Yeah.
Wait, you all haven't set up traps anywhere? Like, because you have a barricade. I don't want to like run into one of your tripwires.
Well, the barricade's here because, well, this is about as much as we could comfortably hold the first day. There was damn near a dozen of them things. There's a reason Faustin's so squeamish about trusting it, yeah. And it's not just because a couple of you are damn ugly.
You know what?
How
That's
many
true.
of there? How many of you were there before the collapse?
Look, I can't. And the one's like,
Were you
I
done?
can't tell you anything else. No, nothing else you could use. Not until we know. I'm sorry.
Could you tell us which ones are ugly? Because we haven't found a mirror yet.
Hey,
So,
look, everyone's image is made in Serenade, and you're just like, that
Okay.
one. And honestly, you ain't much of a looker either.
Okay, well,
You like them big and beefy, don't you?
Look, it ain't what I'm into. But you that, a lot of people is.
and there's somebody for everybody, you know?
Hell, I'm surprised they ain't enough to distract you from the horrors we've been seeing. And she just turns absolutely bright red.
Oh my gosh.
Were you winking at her in the hall? Is that why you were distracted?
I don't look at anyone.
At least I'm funny. I know I ain't got looks, so I feel you.
Next door. If we don't finish this, we'll be out here all week.
Is there a face stealer call?
I'm just gonna walk down the hall, just handing out.
Hi ho,
Hey, face stealers! I know a way for you to get in the camp. If you let us live, we'll get you in. This the most flat monotone thing, chanting as they're
There
walking.
you go. Proper ingenuity from that one. Entrepreneurial spirit. You like to see it. As he
That was my expiration action. I was just chanting this out.
starts walking his way down the hall. You got a sizable distance before the next door. There's a stretch of maybe 30 feet where there isn't anything on either side. Before, on the opposite side of the hall, on the eastern end, there's 2 doors not 10 feet from each other.
Both at the same time. Let's go.
Kick them both open, see what happens. It looks like beyond that, there was another stretch of maybe 50 feet where it's just rubble, detritus, bits of broken furniture, scattered gurneys, and damage. There aren't many more doors until what looks like a further wing.
Well,
Are y'all ready to open the door?
I guess we're gonna.
First one again.
After you, Trey.
At this point, you're now far enough away that while you can see, of course, the barricade and the light back down the hall and the figures, shapes of the figures behind it, they're far enough away you can't really make out their faces easily or communicate with them without just like screaming down the hall. Opening the first of these small doors.
I'm Das booting this door.
opening the first of these small doors extremely forcefully via kicking, reveals a very small closet. A storage chamber with shelves that looks like they once held a great variety of things, but are now still stocked with small, simple, consumable medical supplies. A lot of small wooden sticks rounded on one end and squared on the other. Much simple gauze and bandages have been taken, but there are a litany of assorted small containers, vials, flasks, glassware, and pottery, all left empty and abandoned. Several thick, heavy sacks that are piled upon the ground, and a couple of crates that look like they have been rummaged through for the best of their pickings around the wall. The back corner of the ceiling has caved in almost entirely, tumbling rubble and scree over about a quarter of this. It's big enough to walk into, maybe 8 foot around space.
Anything look particularly useful or well off?
It would take a little bit of time to go through, because there is a lot in here. You are immediately hit, especially Cammy, with a very overwhelming scent of chemicals, particularly of chlorine hanging heavily in the air over everything.
Smells like the pool.
And clearly near the bottom, there are a couple of larger containers and casks, some of which have been damaged and broken open, which appear to be loaded with bleach and soaps and various cleaning supplies.
So we found a janitorial closet.
Nice.
You want to root through? It would take you probably a couple of minutes of effort for you to really search through and see if you could find anything.
The room's not going anywhere. There's no reason we can't come back to it.
It's fair.
What's behind door number 2?
No, it's fine.
Moving over to the second
Das
door.
Boot number 2.
I'll
Yeah.
pick this one.
It looked fun. You wanted to get in on the action.
Yeah.
MD's inspired. Kicks the second door open to see another room that looks very similar to the first, though this one is much, much more severely damaged. Spatial awareness tells you that this is the backside of where you saw that massive pile of collapse in the courtyard. That clearly has been enough and was enough weight to take out the back wall of this closet almost entirely, leading to this one being nearly completely buried in a pile of detritus. However, when you boot the door open, between the shattering of wood and this massive frame blasting off of its feeble hinges into the pile, the light of the lantern coming in, as it slams into the stone, it does startle a few things free. As a couple of large, winding, insectile creatures, very long, huge mandibles set on either side of their heads that are maybe 10 inches across, enormous centipedes writhing out from this heap. And I'm going to need everyone to roll me initiative once more. Shelly, you are still sneaking, so you can still roll stealth. And if anyone wants to change their exploration activity at any point, feel free to tell me. That's always, you can change that whenever you want. Now,
You know why I'm smiling.
some of you ancient ancestors of my personal channel may have some memories of these particular centipedes. But if our party has any luck, we will not reenact the saga of Centipede. These centipedes are legendary among my community for the
This is the origin story.
This, the first time I ran Strange Aeons like 6-7 years ago, this is Centipede. For any of you who ever has wondered what
Why
that
there's the
emote
little
comes
emoji.
from, for those of you hearing a name that does not sound that intimidating but probably looks like it strikes terror nonetheless, Centipede is a well-known creature
I'm suddenly
among these
exhausted.
parts. And
I am ready.
Link 1429 with a woe with him. Centipede common. So,
Oh my god.
how about them initiatives?
What
Keys.
does it need?
25.
25. You're very good and very ready for this.
Thank you, Maverick, for taking this 5 out of my hands and giving me.
A 5?
Really hard to roll. I'm not going to roll over again. And 18 total.
18 total. Okie dokie. Trey,
I got a 10.
10.
Got a
Cammy?
19 on the die, so it's a 26.
26. Way up here. That's pretty good and easy.
I'm using this. Thanks, Tim C. I got a natural 1, so that's not gonna happen.
Oh!
Okay, so 27.
Wow. Fear. They've heard the legends. They know the tales of Centipede. They know what comes for them. And our little lads here, I'm going to roll them out separately. The first of the centipedes that come out is going to get a 12, which is going to put him in here. And the second of the centipedes, the first coming out almost a bright red head and a sort of translucent yellow chitinous body coming down. The second with a black head and its mandibles set wider, more on the outsides of its head than the front. A bit of a green streak up across the head plate that fades out into nothing down its jet black body as it emerges, a little bit smaller than the other of the centipedes. It is going to get a 20, which I believe puts it right here. Easy. You are up first. Good hero point.
My eyes are closed, and I'm plucking at my violin, and I'm just like, yeah, the same story with the knight. And I'm gonna do Inspire Courage. So +1, and then I'm gonna pick up the rock and throw it.
Now, these centipedes are kind of back in this closet here. It's sort of at the back of the group. You don't really... Like, you can hear the door hit. You might even be able to... You probably can hear, like, this. They're large enough. You can hear them sort of scuttling. But you can't see around into that closet quite yet. This is a bit of a crammed situation.
Yeah, I'm going to just tuck into that other room real quick.
Fair enough.
Just open it so it's an option. And yeah, I'll go in there, and then that's the other action. Just look in that nearest anything, see if there's anything like a vial.
Looking around, there are either the things of cleaning supplies. There are a bunch of empty vials and jars and things, but there's nothing's immediately clear as to what it is. A lot of the casks and everything are labeled. Everything you see immediately seems to be cleaning supplies.
Is there like ammonia and bleach?
I'll kill these centipedes by killing everyone. There is definitely bleach. There is at least a damage casket that's clearly leaking a bit of that.
Okay, I'll just consider the bleach.
Thoughts in your little head there. The ideas are forming. Cammy.
So as soon as the door swings open and the centipedes start crawling out, he goes, "Oh shoot!" and kind of like balancing the crossbow against her chest so that she can pull back the thing with the other hand. It's also probably too big for her. I will reload my crossbow.
Oh crap! I didn't reload my crossbow.
And then does it. I'm gonna shoot.
All right. Firing through. Are you shooting at the first centipede, or the red one, or the black one?
Is one bigger?
The red one's a little bigger.
I'll do the red one. All right, 19 on the die, so
Bigger the
it's
target, the easier to hit.
gonna be 23.
23 will hit.
Okay.
Dang it. The blast doesn't quite make that a crit. I was thinking it might, but you
okay.
but the
You were waiting, and I was like,
I was waiting. It was really close. Oh, the +1 and the blast makes it a crit. Immediately, just shoot. Funk. All right, who's ready for the legendary 2 damage crossbow crit? Let's go.
yes. Okay.
You know what? I don't regret giving her the crossbow, though.
Whoa.
Okay, 5 + 3, 8.
8. Oh, all right. Immediately loose that bolt. A critical hit, your panic shot right through Trey's legs, pins the head of this first centipede to the stone, killing it instantly.
What?
It's a pretty big centipede, but it is just a centipede.
Oh, okay. It's not centipede?
No,
What does that mean?
What does it mean?
I'll explain the story later.
Yeah, I kind of peek through the legs where I was shooting through. I go, "Ah, nice. And then I pat I pat MD on the back again, like, you get the other one. Just stoke the heart once more. You got this.
I knew I trusted. I knew I wouldn't regret giving you that crossbow. I had a feeling.
You see your little chameleon just. Keys.
So I still have my sap out handy and standing. Like
You could
kind of like everyone
push
in
into
front
the
of me.
room,
Yeah,
but yeah, it's kind of we're all crowded around a closet. It's got
it's
some
a
centipedes
weird.
in
It's
it.
a weird situation. I'm gonna hold. Like
Okay,
'cause,
yeah,
like,
you can
there's a
absolutely,
giant
at
orc
any
in the
time,
way.
any of you
Yeah.
can just wait. And you can step back in whenever you want.
Yeah.
In between any turn markers, you can take your turn. Trey, I don't remember if I told you this or not, Asagna has baned you to give Centipede a fighting chance. He was not prepared for the tiny gnome crossbow. He assumed you were going to be the problem here today. But
I've already done my 20s for the day.
this second centipede with this green blaze and this black head crawling out, seeing this crossbow bolt as it strikes into stone, recoils back immediately, almost pulling itself up like a snake as its mandibles flare even wider. An orange tint fills up much of its head, the black giving way to this bright orange, still with this green streak atop its head, as it pitches forward, flinging its mandibles and hacking a thin, light spray of some strange liquid out through the door. And everybody but Easy, who was in the other room,
Oh my god.
Cowardice pays off.
needs to make me a reflex save. As a woe for the party, this is not your average giant centipede.
It's the same.
Now,
Oh.
So
No.
glad that rolled a little bit.
Sully, you are trained
I was
in
gonna say,
reflex
wait, I don't
saves.
have a reflex
Yep.
save.
You are trained in reflex saves, which is going to add up to a total of +4. Trey, you are an expert in reflex saves, which is going to add up to, just the proficiency of a +5. MD, you are also an expert, giving you a total sum of +7. And Keys, you are an expert for a +9.
Oh my
to your
god.
reflex save. This is your wheelhouse here.
Feels so good to be an expert in your core stat save.
You get a big number in there.
Kind of want to leave it.
All right, so Hammy.
It's a 4. Thank you, Nate Smack. Put that over there. Okay, so that's a 6 on the die. It's a 10.
10 is gonna fail.
Okay. well.
Trey.
I rolled a 1, and it's Centipede, so I kind of want to leave it.
That is, the legend exists for a reason.
But
That
I
is
have a hero point,
up to you, good sir.
so I'm going to use it.
The one-
Also, your bane from has been replaced by a bless from Vixel. It must be done.
To a 15.
15
that
with the bless you literally just got will let you succeed.
I definitely
man.
didn't delay a few seconds to wait for that to come through or anything.
MD.
25 total.
Blessed, you will critically succeed and take no damage from this.
I accidentally dodge out of the way if she gets
You're in the door.
side step.
He's hiding behind your legs. You're just like, oh, it just... Oops. Keys.
12 on the die, so 21.
21 will regularly succeed. You will take half damage. And you are re-blessed there, Trey, after a brief chat squabble about whether you should be blessed or bane. This spray of acid is going to coat the party. It's going to deal 7 acid damage is the total. So you're taking 4 if you're taking half, 3 if you're taking half, always rounds down. 7 if you're taking the full blast of this and acid damage.
I'm just too big. She couldn't see it to dodge.
and you can feel it immediately sting and burn pretty severely as it sprays across pretty much your whole you, the bits of you that get caught by this after, Cammy's face catches most of it.
Yeah.
And then this centipede darts forward, continuing this like spraying motion as one act in this pounce, shooting up, unraveling towards the doorway and snapping at MD.
Get him.
For a 17 to hit.
Hit.
And
These
these
would be dodging.
mandibles are gonna sear up at you for only 3 points of piercing damage. You've got a chain shirt on, and it's big for a centipede. It's like head is 8 inches across. These mandibles are like little daggers, but it's not massive. They're not strong enough to punch through your chainmail. You just feel a couple of little spikes cut and sting into you. It's enough to hurt, of course, do some lethal damage. But the worst part you feel is several stabbing, burning pains around where it bit. And as it pulls back, you can see it has a series of small, thick, very stout hairs lining its mandibles that have punched through many of the holes in your chainmail and poked into your flesh directly. I need you to make me a fortitude save.
14.
14 is going to regular fail. And the poison that Centipede has delivered unto you with this is going to deal an additional 4 points of poison damage. Good news. Then it is your turn.
Is there enough room for me in the closet, or is it too collapsed and small?
Well, it's the thing is, significantly larger than the rats, honestly. It takes up a lot of space in that doorway. You would have to
Tumble through.
physically kick and tumble past it to get in, but you could if you could get past it.
I want to attempt to tumble through then.
Make me. And do you have your acrobatics?
No, I do not. Stop learning the stats, by the way.
I can't keep literally all of your sheets in front of me. I don't have that much desk space.
I
But I am marking up what you've got.
I don't do it.
You are unsurprisingly trained in acrobatics, adding up to a sum of +5 as your total bonus.
Cool. I rolled a 1.
Oh, you very fail. I believe critically failing on tumble through knocks you prone.
I think it's just
It stops me.
Oh, it just stops you from trying again.
It stops me from getting through, and if they have opportunity attack, they can opportunity.
That's what does it provokes on a critical failure.
Yeah.
He does not have opportunity
It's
attack, so
trip
you are.
that knocks you.
That's what it is. You are going to fail to get past it. It is large enough, and as it kind of is pushed into you, it's got no force to push back against.
I don't I'm trying to predict how it's moving, and it's kind of throwing squirming. And I don't know how to deal with a centipede, so I'm gonna try again because one in doubt. Roll a 19 on the die.
You will be able to definitely push past it.
So I'm gonna be. I won't flanking is what I want. I'm gonna just tell you that.
As you push in behind it into the very back corner of the rubble, that's definitely going to be difficult terrain back there, but you're moving 2 squares. You've got more than enough space to do it. The face of this thing, the head, stays almost clamped onto your chain shirt as you move past. Its body kind of writhing around with you as you work your way back into the corner into this flanking position.
Oh, I've got my centipede beating stick, which is also just a big club.
But as you get back there, immediately, as this thing is still attached and coming around, this inner ferocity comes out again. You raise up this club that you have, but you don't even bring it down. You just make an attempt to roar in this thing's face. Just defiance. It's a natural, an almost automatic response that comes out of you. A terrifying sound, even to your own allies just outside the door here, as it echoes out down the hall. But to a basically mindless centipede, an ineffective tactic.
So now that this space is clear, I'm gonna run in there and I'm gonna grab the nurse's knife that I have and I'm gonna try to stab it at the base of the neck because it's still got a pretty good hold on MD's chest. So I'm gonna try to get it in like on the back of its neck.
Fair enough. Do you have your attack modifier?
Yeah.
Make me an attack roll. And I will say, normally with poison, you roll for poison on your turn. I find it easier to just have everyone who's poisoned roll on the turn of the thing that did the poisoning. That's just easier for me bookkeeping wise.
Yeah.
So that's just, I house that for anyone at home. If you have trouble tracking all the persistent damage and the poison and stuff, do it on the turn of the thing that applied it. It kind of works out the same way, but it's way easier up here.
That was an 11.
Total?
Yeah.
Yeah, your knife is gonna hit, but it's got a thick chitinous exoskeleton here that it doesn't quite bite through.
So I'm just taking my like other hand, and I'm just gonna try to like just wrench it then with my hand. There's too many actions to change my my weapon.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Minus
At the very least, maybe I can get it to like let go of him.
Wait, so you're trying to grab onto it or just
I'm
punch
trying
it?
to like sort of like rip like crack it and like crack it.
Fair enough. Yeah, just make me another attack roll. -4. Fists are also agile.
Right, yeah. 18 on the die, but -5, so 13. That's 20.
20 will hit.
Close, yeah.
You can grab onto it. It's big enough to kind of give you. That's got
Yeah.
a bunch of flailing legs for leverage too.
Yeah.
Your hand is going to do D4 plus your strength modifier damage. So you will still do D4 plus 2 damage.
Okay.
It is non-lethal, but since this is not going to take it down, the damage is damage.
Yeah, 3.
3 points of damage to Centipede. And now we come around to Trey.
Just kill the damn thing. It spits acid. And I'm going to two-hand through the doorway and try and chop it in half with the tray.
So you have this, you come around the corner with this big tray, and as you do, and you hear this battle roar, that frustration takes hold of you a little bit. And you almost bodily shove Keys out of the way. As you really grip this and put 100% of your effort into slamming this thing down as hard as possible. Look at your class feat card.
Christmas time.
Power attack.
You power attack Centipede with the biggest hit you can muster. 2 actions, 1 attack, 2 dice of damage.
Oh,
26.
man.
Are you serious?
I rolled a 17. I have a +9.
Right. You're serious. You're a fighter. Forgot for a minute while explaining the fighter feat that you have that you're a fighter. The fighters do stuff in 2nd edition. The stuff is kill people.
So,
And you got blessed?
yeah. So
That's a critical hit.
Yeah.
That's a critical
Hey,
power attack.
guys. I killed it.
I'm gonna stop looking at my spells now.
So that's a 6.
Oh my gosh.
That's a 4.
10,
That's a 3.
13,
That's a 4.
17, plus your
Plus
strength.
16.
So,
So it's 4 doubled, right? Or is the modifier only once?
no, you power attack is 2 dice. It's critting, so that's all your dice.
So another 8.
So, yeah, and then so
17 plus 8, 25.
25. All right,
Oh my god.
Centipede. What happens to my boy?
Cleaved in 2.
Absolutely.
I meant to chop it in the middle. I hit it along the carapace, and this thing just splits.
Absolutely
Like a
bisecting it
log.
with the blunt end of an iron metal tray, crashing through the exoskeleton with just a limp spray of whatever is inside of a centipede for a brief moment as the 2 halves of it just kind of fall to the ground and slowly ooze. It wouldn't be derp if he didn't get power attack and immediately crit something with it. I would be worried if that didn't happen.
Yeah.
But you, even from the other room,
Yeah, I'm coming out.
Oh my god.
carrying the
Hear
pizza.
this. Like everything's on fire and can't
Centipede did not live to his 2nd appearance, even with the power fueled into him by the woe. It gave him some strength, surely, but
Not enough to overpower my Malachite luck.
nah, the Malachite's a pretty strong influence. With those 2 things scampered out of some of the wide gaps in the rubble, I mean, that's just really how fresh these piles of rock and stone are. They are just heaped haphazardly as if they had just tumbled there a day or two ago, and it sounds like from the survivors perhaps they had. There's plenty of spaces and chasms and gaps. And now, looking at this room here, you can even smell the flowers outside. You can feel a bit of the breeze coming through from this wall being damaged enough to have open passages to the courtyard, or, well, something quite small.
Oh, seeing your acid face.
I'm sizzling.
Now you
Sniff out any healing potions?
you come back around the corner carrying your pizza with no real idea of what's going on. And you do see this. You see her burnt and scarred, and I mean that's pretty injured for her. Clearly some of your allies have also taken some hits, but this tiny little innocent gnome face in that state of panic just strikes something in you. And these rhymes, these poems, everything that this music that's been coming out of you just without thought, instinctively. We're allies now, you need not kneel. You need not ask. I have heal. Your second spell. Spell 2? Spell 2.
Spell 2.
Soothe.
Ooh.
Grace target's mind, boosting its mental defenses and healing its wound. 1d10 plus 4 hit points.
Oh, dang.
Plus 2 against saves. Okay, I'm gonna do that.
No, give me some of that. Give me some of that. Hit me.
Give me.
That was about to put blood on your face. But
While he's doing that, literally, is I pull out a cloth I collected down, so the cleanest cloth I could find is kind of wipe her face off of the acid. My bad.
So 5 HP for everybody.
5 HP to her. It's not in everybody. It is one target.
One target.
That's like half her health.
Yeah, that is like half her health. And that is the vast majority of the damage that she took there. In addition,
thank you, sir.
Why don't you, Sully, roll me a flat check?
Okay. Oh, I can do that. 13.
The 13, this spell does not only heal. Soothe does a little bit more than that. Soothe, well, it's kind of in the name, isn't it? Settles your emotions a little bit. You lose 1 stress.
Whoa.
Oh my gosh.
Fun fact though, Soothe doesn't physically heal you, it makes you hurt less.
It turns off your brain pain.
It makes you feel better. It doesn't help with the burning or anything.
Yeah.
It is a mental effect.
It's all in your head.
Mud on your face.
Just like wiping off the acid.
You look hurt.
No.
You're not matter. You're fine.
Great now.
It's like how you gaslight children, not realizing they're injured. You're like, you're fine.
No, children are immortal until you tell them they're in pain.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is just a facial wash.
That is Soothe. But I will tell you, from the flat check, that is not guaranteed. I told you I will tell you a little bit. You will learn about the stress system as we go. You've seen it peeking its head through here and there. Things happening that you did not intend, did not even know you were capable of. There is no source of stress reduction that will always work. There will never be a consistent, foolproof way to remove stress.
Not even the power of friendship and hugs.
Bring it in, guys.
If my character dies, they can't be stressed.
All right, there is one way.
There's one out.
Unconsciousness will remove your stress temporarily. But with that, you immediately feel leagues better.
I'll open another door, guys. I'm ready to go.
I mean, you still look
Let me crank
awful.
this thing real quick.
You might have been healed, but I'm not feeling so hot. Like, can you like sniff out if there's any medical potions in this room?
Oh yeah.
Directly inhales bleach.
Man, it's like if she had allergies.
Now, again, these rooms they got a lot of stuff in them, and they're pretty choked with rubble. This one worse than the first one. Again, you can search them. It's just going to take you sometimes, like probably 10 minutes to root through and see what you can find.
Search this one. I'll check the other one.
Well, we want to search the good one, the one with the stuff in it, right?
They both have stuff in it. They both seem to be supply closets. One's just a little more collapsed than the other one.
This one might be actually less looted.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's harder to tell what was once in this one because
Okay.
it's so much more damage.
Help me clear out some of this rubble. We can just pile it in the hall. We'll just make sure nothing collapses. I pass it to you. You pass it to me. What do you want to do?
It doesn't matter.
Okay, I'll pass it to you.
All right. Well, while the cleanup crew's going, then we'll search the one that's already. We'll search the one that's available.
So they're going to search the rooms, and we're going to search through the rubble.
Just here's a rock. It's a rock.
I mean, while you guys are clearing, I can
It's a nice rock.
It's a rock.
look
nice
at the.
rock.
Group of you
Rock.
take some time rooting through the very nice rocks of the chamber. You are correct. The northern room has been much less looted than the southern, just due to its state. And clearing through much of the rubble does reveal a couple of things. Between the two closets, you find a small assortment of items that could be useful to you. Fortunately, none of them are alchemical potions. But you find another pair of small lanterns. Much more intended to be handheld lanterns rather than the one that you just kind of pulled off of the wall.
No sconces.
Yeah, it's an actual lantern. It has both a belt loop as well as a place to hold it from the top, a proper handle. You find some usable tools. You find an assortment of small wrenches and hammers. You find a set of 3 very thick woolen winter blankets. Each of which large enough to more than fully cover a human-sized bed. You find 3 more sets of those leather restraints, each of them kind of connected together, tied with simple cord. You find a strange, small silver necklace. It looks tarnished and worn, and it doesn't look like it was originally placed amongst the things that are in here. It looks like it found its way here perhaps later. Its chain is dented in places, but visibly damaged from the rubble, the collapse. And you find a small alabaster carving of what looks to be an angel. Her hands together in prayer against her chest, her wings folded down over her shoulders, her head bowed. It's no bigger than a finger. It has a hole bored to the top of the head through which is run a thin, simple black leather cord.
Can I take a set of those leather restraints and put them on as van braces? Would they work that way?
They are fairly bulky. They are definitely meant, they are restraints. So yeah, I would say they're absolutely thick enough to be useful. I wouldn't say they're necessarily going to be armor. It doesn't really cover enough of you to make a difference in that regard. But I would say that they were big enough you could use them as an active defense. I would let you use those as like a buckler shield.
Okay.
If you wanted to.
Sure.
You run this over to her, please. Thank you.
Mail's here.
You just gotta passo the cardo.
You just got a letter. You just got a buckler.
Wonder who it's from. It's me. It's always me. Thank you. So that will give you access to, I believe, the party's first shield here. Shields in Pathfinder 2nd Edition are interesting because they are not passive defense. You need to use an action to, basically, you're putting an action's worth of focus into protecting yourself with them. You have a pair of van braces. You kind of have to like Wonder Woman this a little bit, and make the people hit the van braces. But they give you a bonus to your armor class, which is a circumstance bonus that will stack with your armor, stack with whatever else. And in 2nd edition, I'm pretty sure literally anybody can use a shield. Anyone can use them. Now, you need training to be able to fully absorb attacks with them. Something that only some classes have access to, that will let you use a reaction to outright block incoming hits, which is something that you don't feel you know how to do. But you can use their passive defense if you have that like 3rd action left on your turn and not sure what to do with it. A little extra AC never hurts. It's like taking cover, but you don't need any cover.
I'll pick up the necklace. Just kind of give it a closer look around and stuff.
Okay. Its design is not immediately apparent to you. It doesn't seem to be a holy symbol of any kind. It's just a very simple wrought kind of winding silver pendant.
All right. Yeah, I'll just put it on, and then I'll grab a blanket and I'll wrap up, and I'll walk out of the room.
Like
a little train kind of following.
You would
past me.
absolutely have a big old trail pulling behind
Like
you.
I got what I want.
I grunt at Easy and hold up a lantern. This might be easier to hold.
Belt bit.
Also, Cammy, take one too.
Oh, sure.
The rest of this stuff, I'm gonna put the tools in the backpack I pulled up from the pile downstairs. Anything else important? Anything else we want to take with us?
The blanket.
Oh yeah, okay.
Oh,
I
these
don't
are
think we
great.
want to take those with us. We could leave them here and come back for them.
We can give them as a gesture of goodwill to the people behind the barricade.
They're going to be heavy and cumbersome.
Yeah, we leave it with them. And then if they trust us, we can sleep there at some point in a warm blanket.
And as Easy says that, it does kind of hit all of you. With the state of outside, it's almost impossible to tell what time it is, and you've basically got no memories of what happened before you woke up down in the basement below Briarstone Asylum. But you are exhausted. All of you are tired. All of you are feeling the onset of fatigue. All of you are starting to feel the gnaw of hunger at the edge of your mind. Thirst. Basic needs that at the moment you have no idea how to address.
I think those centipedes are edible.
I'd rather eat a rat.
Oh, there's rats back there too.
Yeah.
Knee-high rats, that's a lot of...
Gotta cook it, though.
I mean, it's early enough in the day, guys. We're not quite that bad off yet.
It's not like
I don't think
brink of exhaustion. You're like, it's not affecting you physically yet, but you are starting to feel.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things,
You notice.
we don't have any food. We don't know where we're going to get food. That is an available food source to think about.
we're discussing our options now. That way we don't have a whatever you like situation later.
I don't know, wherever you want to go.
I want to go to the room.
No, not there. No, not there either.
No.
No, I hate that place. No. I don't know, wherever you want.
All right. I'll just pack all the small stuff away too. I mean, we've got big blankets. We can just leave them here, I guess.
Got some candles. You've got some lantern oil. You've got some small pouches, some flasks, some vials.
We got a set of tools.
You've got a set of
which
tools. You've
every
got some
dad will
hammers, some
test.
wrenches. You've got some basic pliers. You've got some things.
This could prove to be useful later.
You said there was empty vials in the other room, right?
Yes.
Is there a way to like get some of that poison in a vial or something like that?
The centipedes, if that's doable. You look down at a centipede, and boy, howdy, you sure don't know enough about centipedes.
I just tried to
to figure out how to do that. You are untrained in survival. And as the idea does occur to you, you are aware you're absolutely clueless as to how to do it. And that +1 from your wisdom that's your total. It's a +1.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, you might get a 20 though.
If you want to try,
Does anybody know how to milk a centipede?
I don't think any of us know how to milk a centipede.
No.
We don't
You
even
take the
remember
head
our
off.
names.
And you jam it into something else. Now it's poisoned.
you may not know how to, milk a centipede, per se. But a bunch of you definitely don't know how to milk a centipede. MD though, you got some knowledge in there, some
Milk of the centipede.
learning. It's not centipede specific, but you know the concept works with spiders. You know you can pull the venom glands out of big enough spiders. You don't know why you know, but you know you can extract incredibly potent poisons from that. You know you can milk the venom from the fangs of a snake. Logically, why should this be any different? You're trained in survival.
Ooh, he's just
Giving
this
you-
little spider farm boy.
He came from the spider farm back home.
Adding up to a total of a +3 from being trained. You know you're not great at it. You don't know if you've ever done it, but you know the concept is there.
You know what? If it'll make you happy, we can at least try. I think something like this. I'm just gonna try. It's a
Maybe a survival
Try
check.
to milk that centipede.
17 total.
All right.
Send
Take
a
out the little
butcher back.
knife. Take out the little knife
We
scalpel.
might not find out whether it was successful until we actually use it.
With a 17 total. With a 17 total. You do
Poison yourself.
get to use this break in the exoskeleton here. You do a similar thing with a little hammer, crack it open behind the manual, and you get it's pretty thickly mixed with what's clearly its own blood, but it's not all blood. It's something in there in that flask. We have a tip. I'm not sure what that's for. Admittedly, it looks like a combination of two things. If you could specify, please, I'll tell the party what happens. But I'm not sure what that's for.
Spooked. Spooked. Cool. Yeah, there's venom in there, I guess, mixed with blood. One of the things. I guess if you just let it sit in one space, throwing them off, they might separate, and you could probably separate them that way. But here, you want it.
You sound like you know what to do with it.
I don't really. Goes in the bag.
You would figure what you saw this do to your friends is you definitely jumped out of the way. It would. You could coat a weapon in it. You could coat a pebble and fling it at someone hard enough. It's the kind of thing. It's not a delicate feature. It's applied directly. You can take it and use something to put it as in the bad guys as you possibly can.
Kind of like the mandibles do when they bite you.
Apparently, that was from TNT DMD, and it's 2 villain points.
Oh
You
man.
know what? TNT DMD giveth and TNT DMD taketh. So
Now, hear me out, TNT. How am I supposed to reroll stress checks to purposely fail them if I don't have hero points?
You're not gonna get any stress checks if you keep obliterating every encounter.
well, I guess we keep going.
On to the next door.
So, you continue downwards. As I said, you've got a decent stretch of hallway here going 50, maybe 60 feet down. And you're progressing into worse ruin now. The floor becomes uneven, where in places it's been damaged enough by the collapse coming down above and around it, stones striking it. You can see walls, the white plaster covering the stone behind them in several places has been marred, damaged by not collapses, but what looks like scratches, wide gouging claws ripped through. And several places you can see scattered and broken bolts that look like they must have been fired from crossbows back near the barricade that didn't find their mark. The ceiling sags, in some places gives way entirely. One occasion, you literally feel a small little stream of dust and pebbles drop down on your shoulder as you walk underneath one of them. Those of you with dark vision can see it does surely look like the way is going to become impassable before too far. But coming into view up on the right is a void. A place where the wall has collapsed and crashed entirely. Absolutely wrecked and destroyed, with a ceiling sags a full foot down upon cracked tiling. Refuse now piles up ankle, knee deep in places around. And even just passing through the asylum becomes more difficult. There was once a doorway not far beyond this, which has long since been obliterated from its hinges and lays strewn amongst the scree. And as you come up towards this corner, you get a view of a wide room around to your right that may once have been several rooms. You hear something before you see it. A soft, gentle sobbing. Back in the corner, further away. As your lantern crests the corner, you immediately hear sucking of air as it tries pretty poorly to fall silent. Here, we will end our second episode.
I was waiting for it.
Sully's literally holding her breath over there. There was so much air in you to let out. And next week, we return. We'll see what you can find. Oh my god, these sessions go so fast.
Jeez, dude.
We're over. We're like 10 minutes
Can
over.
we start doing these for 6 hours?
Big, long Aeons.
Exactly.
Thank you. What?
If these chairs didn't have armrests, I would be on the edge of my seat.
Thank you again, everyone out there, for joining us on our adventures through the Aeons here. I'm going to leave you with some parting words from our last couple sponsors. I never had a great opportunity to shout out. We got a bunch of dice here that get rolled on these cameras, and everything that you're seeing is coming from Norse Foundry. They have been our longest and one of our most supportive partners, and given us a pretty hefty discount code to pass on to you guys. It applies to absolutely everything on their site. And Eldritch Foundry, well, I'm gonna have to wait for all the exciting things to talk about really there, because I haven't made the minis for you guys yet. Some of you, when we show the little shots at the table, might recognize some of these. I got an Eleonora over here. I got a John Tiller. I got other characters Colby didn't play. Because we haven't fully customized these guys yet. When we do, good news, Eldritch Foundry's got some really cool new features coming out. Those of you familiar with any Blender is the one my brain made the connection with, but a lot of other modeling software. All these model building websites, you have these kind of awkward little sliders to pose things. Well, Eldritch Foundry finally just put pivot points on stuff, so you can just pose it in the actual view. I don't think that's out yet. I think it's coming.
Out.
It's out?
Yeah,
I thought that was a preview.
I used it. I think I used it.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Oh
because
my
you have-
It is now
Yeah.
so much easier to use than most of those are. We got a great code with them too. Checking out our sponsors is a real easy way to support the show directly, as is just hanging out for the stream. We'll see you all next week, everyone, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific, for the third episode of Strange Aeons. Good night.